When life gives you a second chance, do not forget to grab that opportunity. And it's time for players to go wild as we are going to step into the wild cards of the Season 2 Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series. And with me on the desk is obviously going to be IGK, who's going to be joining me. We're going to do a lot of analysis. We're going to do a lot of play-by-play probably today because there's going to be a lot of action on board.
Well, thank you for the warm introduction, Aka. And coming back to the desk, it gives me a warm feeling to see the teams just grind it out again for the finale, trying to make it towards the top 6. Let's see which are the teams that will be joining us. But at the same time, as we talk about the previous days, League Stages Week 3 was so amazing.
Exactly.
So everything changed for every team. Like I think some teams were just at the bottom, just had to leave because of a 1 to 2 point difference, and that Enigma Gaming just close by somewhere. If they had a booyah or something, it would have been helpful.
Yeah,
for
very
them,
much helpful. Yeah, the reason why we had to take the name of Enigma is obviously because of the 30-point difference. Obviously. If they had the consistency from the first week, probably they could have done a much better job. But eventually they were not able to do so. For now, we'll be looking at the prize pool. What are these teams fighting for? They're fighting for a huge prize pool of 30 lakh rupees, and I do believe that you cannot expect this tournament to come a little more lesser than this, obviously because of the kind of talent which is holding. And let's look at the breakup of how this prize pool has actually come out.
As we look upon the breakup, the first prize is gonna take home rupees 10 lakhs, the second place with 5, the third place with 2 lakh 50,000, and every team is going home with 15,000. That's 90 to 24th, who have already taken the leave. 6 teams have already left off. As we look on to the point distribution, the first place will get 20 points, the second place with 17, and the third place with 15. But the most important thing is the kill points coming in, where each and every kill guarantees you 2 points. Getting 10 points, it's easy. 10 kills, easy 20 points in your name.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't need to have a booyah if you have 10 kills in your name, or if you want to play for placement points, obviously make sure that you get the booyah in your name. At the same time, we've been speaking about a lot of other things in this tournament as to how people are not going to go empty-handed. Obviously, it's because of the 15,000 which they're going to carry, and let's see which are the teams which are going to be playing it out today in the wild cards. It's going to be PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, and Evil Army coming in from one end, and from the other end we have
teams like Total Gaming, TSMFTX, Team Chaos, AFF Esports, Nemesis, and Raven Esports joining us. So while we talk about these teams, somewhere I'm pretty much sure that all of these teams have something up their sleeves, because these teams eventually they were in different groups in the beginning, but they have played against each other and they know the strategies, which are the drop locations they are going to opt for. The wildcards is divided into 3 days, where this team, the 12 teams that we are seeing on a screen right now, is going to play out in 6 matches each day. That's a total of 18 matches. And at the end of the day 3, you will know for sure which 6 teams will move in towards the finals and play it against the top 6 teams.
Yeah, at the same time, I want to see which are those teams who are considering this as the finale itself, because that is when they'll be able to put out their full potential. And one more thing is for sure that there are some teams like TSM, there are teams like PVS and Total Gaming who have a huge fan following in the Free Fire community. They'll be fighting it out, and I'm sure that they'll be making it to the finale. If not, it's going to be a bit of a disappointment for the fans.
Well, we look up onto the schedule once again. It's going to be same again. Bermuda, Kalahari. Yeah. 4 matches. So, 6 matches, 4 matches.
It's going to be 6 matches.
6 matches. So Bermuda, Kalahari, and Bermuda, Kalahari again. So, 6 matches. The format is going to stay the same throughout the entire wildcards also, as we saw in the league stages. So, the same format being followed by this 12 teams gives an opening for them to fight it against all terrains that they have followed throughout the entire league stages.
Yeah, but at the same time, I want to point out few things for teams. There is no team 4 known, so that the Evil Army is going to concentrate on restricting them. So that will give Evil Army a new kind of strategy to play around. Nobody is there to take Refinery like 4 known used to do. Team D Esports have an opportunity. We have Desi Gamers also going in over there as well. Let's not forget that in the map of Bermuda, we do not have Blind Esports dominating, so that gives another chance for other teams to actually show who are the next kings apart from these two as well. But at the same time, let's look at the overall point standing so far, how things have turned out for teams. In the bottoms, the team which actually left us after the league stages were Enigma Gaming, Blood Bashers, Life Hackers, Godlike, Never Broke Again, and Mayhem, even though they had a very good opportunity in this tournament. But at the same time, let's look at the bottoms who are actually staying alive in this tournament. It's going to be Raven Esports, Nemesis, AFF Esports, Team Chaos, TSM, and Total Gaming. At the same time, look at the point difference of Total Gaming and the team above them. Register the numbers as 4-2-3. And from the second slide, you'll try to understand how things have turned out.
Well, I think at the 12th place we have PVS Gaming somewhere close by. Let's see if PVS is at the 12th place.
PVS, yeah, I know.
Let's look at the second slide. As we look onto it, at the 12th place, we have, I think, somewhere. It's going to be Evil Army with 445. So 423 and 445.
20 points difference.
20 points difference, almost 20 point difference coming in. And as we talk about PVS at the 7th place with 477, you can see that all the teams from 7 to 12 are very close to each other. A point difference of 20 to 30 points maximum coming in between them. And obviously, we have 6 teams who have already moved in towards the final. That is Blind Esports, 4 Unknown, TSG Army, Team Elite, Level Iconic, and Headhunters. They will be directly meeting us in the finals. And let's see which 6 teams from this bottom 12 will move in towards the next scene. And as we talk about teams like UG Mania, Chemin Esports, I think they have a good opportunity to again try a different strategy. UG Mania was able to do something out of the box, so let's see if they can get some booyahs in the name. Multiple booyahs.
But my eyes is set on Chemin Esports and Team D Esports because they had more, booyahs compared to other teams in the lower half. We have seen that they've got 4 booyahs in the name. That means they're doing everything fine and good when it comes to placement points. It's just that they're not able to execute kills, due to which they have restrained and remain in the bottom of the table. So let's see how things will turn on for here on for such teams who have an opportunity of taking booyahs in the name. It's just that they have to gear up a little more, put some kill points on their in the board, and then they'll be up and running. At the same time, let me remind you, 2 important points will be given to the 1 kill which they secure. That comes up to say 10 kills is on an average 10 kills is what you'll actually need, to make sure that you stay on the top. At the same time, I'm looking forward to see teams like Total and PVS actually outperform themselves in the wild stage, because there a lot of expectations were coming in from their side, and it looks like we did not see much from them.
They're gonna play up to the expectations because the fans always are there to support them and show them that they are they are the strength that they need. But it's time to look on to the top 5 players of the league stages, the top 5 MVPs. And when it comes to 4 Unknown, Radhe Thakur, obviously the man with grenades, is going to be at the first place with 65 kills executed. 35,421 damage coming from his side, 37 headshots and 31 assists. At the same place, we have again a grenadier coming in from the side of Blind Esports, where Nivesh is at the second place of the total MVP with 48 kills, 25,419 damage, 15 headshots and 25 assists. Blind Esports, 2 players on the top of the leaderboard of the MVP, shows that they deserve the first place in the overall leaderboard. Well, Blank Inotra at the third place with 44 kills, 21,676 damage, 33 headshots and 34 assists.
But at the same time, when we look at the headshots, look at the kind of headshots Radhe Thakur has dealt. But at the same time, let's look at Asim coming in from Headhunters. 20,826 damage coming in from his side, 42 kills, 17 headshots. Let's not forget the last one, 22,344 coming in from the side of Kaushik. Again a grenadier coming in with 38 kills. I think these were the best teams to face off. Let's look at the face-off of 2 other teams who actually had a neck-to-neck fight in many stages. That was PVS versus UG Mania, where we were able to see that PVS Eco will be leading the kill feed with Novita to get 31 kills each. At the same time, Yogi
Golden
will be...
and Java Boy also with 27. So that comes up to say that the kills of Team UG Mania are divided equally where the support comes in. But Java Boy, he always tried to go into the front and an off-angle flank, so that price he had to pay. But let's hope that he sticks together with his team when it comes to the wildcards. Yogi with 23 and Lover Boy with 11. So this time Lover Boy has to outperform himself. He usually comes up with a melee. He tries to do that in the final zone, tries to pull up something else. But let's see. We got one more face-off coming up in our screen, and I think that's going to be between team Chemin Esports and Desi Gamers. Yes, and Kaushik with 38 kills leading the team, and Insane with 32 kills. These are the entire statistics coming from the league stages, where these teams, the maximum number of kills that way they were able to achieve. Aimguard with 26, Ashusta with 21 and Adam with 7.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would want to point out, the bottoms not able to perform, like Adam and Ignite. Those are the players who are actually really strong. At the same time, let's not forget what Ashustar has done for the team. He's always lifted the team whenever it was required for them, and eventually was able to, outperform Shanti in many stages. But let's not forget the contribution of Shanti as well. As we were looking at the most important, most valuable player of the tournament so far, we all know it's going to be Radhe Thakur coming in from their side. A total of 130 points given alone by him for 4 Unknown by kill points. amongst the 630, he is the person who's contributing 130.
130.
Just imagine if he was there with other teams, probably like PVS Gaming, they could have made it to the top 6.
Top 6, and they would have to play the wild cards. But at the same time, every team has their own player that tries to push them up, that tries to get that placement point.
Yeah.
Even if he's a sole player standing, he'll always try to go in for that way. And I think Evil Army is one of the teams who have been able to do that.
Beam. Let's not forget.
Just a single player standing, he's able to execute Booyah for his team. He just stays out in the flat, just executes those kills. He does not reveal his location. If the kill is only accessible, that's the only time he will take that kill.
Yeah, but at the same time, let's look at the matchup of the first map of the day, where in the wildcards, everything is going to matter. Every bullet is going to count. It's going to be between PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, and Evil Army. As we had already explained before, there are only 12 teams alive in this tournament. So basically, these 12 teams will be facing off one another. This is day 1, match 1, ladies and gentlemen, in the map of Bermuda, in the wildcards. And I hope that you guys are shared it among your friends and everybody are here to watch this amazing gameplay which is going to start.
Looking at the remaining 6 teams that will be joining us for the first match is Total Gaming, TSM FTX, Team Chaos, AFF Esports, Nemesis, and Raven Esports. And at the same time, as we look on to team like AFF Esports, I think AFF Esports didn't pop up so much as they did in week 1. The name didn't pop up on the kill feed. Somewhere they were getting slaughtered by all the teams that are surrounding them. But this time, I think making it towards the top 18, somewhere they have the potential to make it towards the top 12 for the finals also. But let's see how it goes as the tournament format. I'll explain you the tournament format before we go into the match. That's the league stages already finished. There were 3 weeks of league stages where we had 24 teams joining us, and out of the 24 teams, 6 teams have already
36 basically. Yeah, 24. So I'm so sorry.
6 teams are left.
I'm still in season 1 though.
And 18 teams were there, of which 6 teams, the top 6 went in directly towards the finals, and from 7 to 18 it went to this wildcards. That's we are looking right now. It's time for the casters prediction, and from the English desk I have opted for PVS, and you're looking for TSM FTX.
Because TFM FTX are that one team who slowly built up momentum in this tournament, and they were able to do so. Look at the right hand of the screen where we have 3 people, PVS Gaming, Red Cape, and Masab, all of them going for PVS Gaming. Let's not forget DK's going in for Total Gaming. Chemin Esports being taken by T18. I believe Total Gaming, PVS Gaming, and DGs were also there.
Desi Gamers by Monish.
Monish was there.
Taking.
So eventually I'm going in for TSM because we all know that is one team which has a lot of potential when it comes to the game. It's just that they're not able to place their players in a specific location that they would
specific drop location where they would have the advantage.
Not holding it up as well.
I think they always go in and try to contest it with someone who already has the knowledge of the area. They know it in and out, so they know where to escape from, what not to take, and TSM slightly lacks that. I think slightly.
See, but at the same time, the problem what happens with TSM is that if not the drop location, it's just that during the time of rotation when they come in slow, they're always gate kept. Let's see how things are going to turn out for them as AFF Esports, Chemin Esports, Nemesis, Raven Esports, Desi Gamers, TSM FTX, UG Mania, PVS Gaming, Team D Esports, Total Gaming, Team Chaos with Evil Army will be taking off with the flight of Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series match number 1, as we'll be seeing the flight go over the map of Bermuda, and we can expect the flight path to be going at the center, which I would love to see because we all know it's important for everybody to get that drop location.
Starting off at Mill, going in towards Clock Tower, and ending off at Rimnam Village, dissecting the map into half, and the blue zone formed at Hangar is going to give advantage to most of the teams who want to go in for the regular drop location. As we look on towards Sentosa, a bit accessible for teams like Chemin Esports who always take in towards Sentosa, but at the same time, as we look on to Evil Army and Raven Esports, I see one of the players from Evil Army, that's going to be Yash. I think the entire team is there. So as we look on to Cape Town, there are two teams already fighting it out, and yes, we have come on to their perspective as we look on to Prasanna and Shai Shankar. Going to be a split gameplay coming from the side of Raven Esports. As we talk about Evil Army, all the 4 players decided to stick it together. They're gonna hold together. At the same time, Prasanna goes in for a knock and he's trying to go for a finish, but Evil comes into the proper cover. A glue wall has been Chrono Shield has been popped up at the perfect time, and Prasanna might want to go in for that push. At the same time, another fight happens between Team Desi Gamers and Chemin Esports.
Yeah, for now, I would want to see how the placement of, Evil Army is right now. They're at the center, and Ravens have covered them up in all different directions. I don't believe that, Ravens will be able to converge into them and dominate against them, because we all know that Evil Army is very good at, sticking together, making sure that they do not let a person down or let go in the game itself. For now, it's going to be Raven Esports who have an upper hand, obviously, because they have covered most of the area. Evil on the other side has to, heal up. He has to make sure he gets some name and he gets some loot in his name as well. On the other side, DJ Ignite is the person who will be getting the first kill, and they'll be the team who will be having the kill.
2 kills.
2 kills in the name, as well as the kill leaders.
As we talk about Chemin Esports being dissected at the moment by the hands of Desi gamers, and let's move on to that in a few moments. But at the same time, Prasanna still holding in the AK in his hand, doesn't want to go in for some farming. I'd recommend Raven Esports to try to get some loads before going in for that fight, because early gunfights will always cost them a player or two, and that's going to affect them in the final zones. As we talk about Shai Shankar, all of them are at a very low loot. As we talk about the team in front of them, that's going to be Evil Army. All of them are back to the full potential. Evil needs to get some first stage in front of him. At the same time, Ajit comes up from an off angle. If he gets spotted, the entire team of Evil Army is going to push onto the side of Ajit. But at the same time, team Evil Army have decided to fall back and not take that fight, unnecessary fight. But spotting right now, ETH Evil in the open is gonna make an opening for them to try and dissect Raven Esports.
Still, Evil has not got any kind of health kits in his name, med kits in his name, which could be very, very bad for him. Eventually, one shot is more than enough to take him down. It's going to be Tiger who will be accompanying him at this point of time, as Ajit with the Thompson wants to push in and make sure that he dissects through the side of Evil Army at the earlier stages itself. At the same time, Ajit has to get a right kind of backup, or else the Wolves are going to come in together. Evil on the other side getting some good loot in his name. He's got the mini Uzi, if I'm not wrong. The stun's also been put in front of them. Ajit is going to fall back. A very clever move coming in from his side. Beam with that Woodpecker is waiting to dissect through Ajit as well, because he knows that he's the only person who can hold an off angle and restrict Raven Esports from actually coming in.
A nade being popped up from the side of Evil Army, but going for an uncooked nade, unplanned grenade. I think that's going to be a rogue grenade. At the same time, as we talk about Ajit just holding his location, he has the team at a far away location, but the way they have positioned themselves, I'm pretty much sure Ajit is getting the cover that he needs, because if the team tries to push onto him, yes, this is what I was talking about. Deadshot makes an off angle, gets a knock onto Evil. Evil was at a very low HP. The revive comes in from the side of team from the side of team Evil Army. At the same time, a treatment gun being used for him to be revived. At the same time, Beam trying to take a knock onto him. Ajit gets spotted out, but Beam unable to execute that knock. He's just gonna hold his location. He's just gonna wait it out there and try to make sure that if he gets an angle, he'll make sure to execute the full kill, not just go in for the knock. Ajit looking at a trouble right now. Evil getting spotted again by Shai Shankar. Shai Shankar tries to take a knock onto him. He's at a very low HP. This is much more preferable for Team Evil Army to fall back at this moment, because Raven Esports have the higher advantage with the maximum number of loot in the hand, and they are almost to the max potential of the health, excluding Ajit and Deadshot.
Yeah, but at the same time, I would want to see what Raven Esports are doing over here. There is going to be two people who are going to be restricting them, and the other two are actually going on farming and trying to get an angle through which they can come in and start their assault against the side of Evil Army. Let's not forget what Evil Army can actually do if they find out that the Raven is distributed so well amongst the map. Eventually, if they take down one player, that is when they'll start to do so. I can see an M800 in the hands of one of the players. Right now, Sai Shankar with that Max 7 will try to run away. Ajit comes up with the right kind of knock against Yash, and this is the time for them to push in as the second player almost getting taken down. Sai Shankar goes on a bit more closer with the parafull, is able to execute some knocks over here. Black Tiger has to make sure he goes behind the glue wall, as the chrono shield is going to be there just for 5 seconds. At the same time, Ajit is going to make sure that he gives the right kind of treatment from the other angle. Yash tries to push in, he will get taken down. Yash vulnerable with the Thompson at this point of time. A push comes in from the side of Raven. Prasanna gets taken down by Black Tiger. Let's see whether Ravens will be able to survive this, as now it's going to be Black Tiger and Beam, the two men standing. Prasanna will be lost at one side. Let's see whether it's a 3v2. Can Evil Army convert this into a 3v3 or a 2v2?
As we talk about Black Tiger, he's at a very low HP. Deadshot getting knocked out by the hands of 4 unknown Beam. That's going to be Evil Army. Beam is going to go in for a finish, and yes, they have turned the situation into a 2v2 where we look onto Beam at a very high HP. But at the same time, Tiger is going to look vulnerable, as Sai Shankar wants to go in for the push from the back. At the same time, Archit just holding with the Thompson in his hand has to either go in for that push or move in towards the zone, as the zone has started started forming in, and it will start closing in on them. As we talk about Shai Shankar, he wants to he's just gonna hold it out there. He knows that he knows that the glue wall will be taken down any moment right now, but he's just gonna stay there and wait it out for him to give a peek.
Yeah, but at the same time, Sai Shankar is actually doing it wrong until the glue wall went out. It was Black Tiger who gets taken down, and it's important for Ajay to look out for his back, because it's going to be Beam who might backstab him, but chooses not to do so. He'll be playing for placement points from here on. What a game it has been in the wildcard. The beginning game itself seems to be so mature amongst the players that they've taken things so seriously. The zone takes a sudden shift at this point of time. Mass Electric Factory and Pochinok, where you have to place yourself at the earlier stages itself. Look at what Total Game is doing, making sure that they go back to the same rotation which they have held on in the league stages, ending up the eastern side of peak. Want to hold it for a brief period of time. Let's not forget Chemin Esports still holding at Sentosa would want to come in, but at the same time, just like Enigma was taking a longer rotation from the side of Rimnam Village, UG Mania will be copying them, and let's see whether they'll be able to cope up and make it into the finale.
UG Mania obviously will be able to make up towards the zone, as we have seen them performing in the league stages, but at the same time, when we talk about Team D Esports making their way towards the zone from the shipyard using the launchers, they're going to use a different rotation right now, and let's see if they are able to dissect from peak, going in between the two of the most fan favorite teams, that is going to be PVS Gaming and Total Gaming, that's going to be engaged in a few moments, but let's see if they are able to do it. As we look onto a quick replay from the last fight, that's going to be DG Ignite, who went in for the knock onto Chemin Esports, and the second player, Aim God FF, was taken off the zip line, and he was finished off, falling to his death into the fire itself, so into water. And at the same time, DG was off to a good opening. The last player standing for Evil Army, just trying to get some loot in his name, gonna go in for a good farming, and at the same time, he will opt in for a longer rotation. As we talk about PVS Gaming, they have Desi Gamers in front of them, they have Team AFF Esports in front of them, but at the same time, they have to watch the back for the Total Gaming, that is coming from the back, and a backstab is inevitable at this moment.
Yeah, but at the same time, they still have a lot of time. No need of any early skirmishes for sure for any of these teams. I'm a bit worried about PVS's farming so far, because Nobita with an AK, he just has a level 1 vest and probably could be getting taken down. Loverboy on the other side looks a bit more promising. It's just that he doesn't have the right kind of glue walls. Eco on the other side, the person who we've always vouched for, the person who has that opportunity, yet not having the right kind of loot in his name apart from the helmet and vest, is something to watch out for. At the same time, Total Gaming holding a very, very good compound. If they hold this for a brief period of time, I'm sure that they'll have an opportunity to take the booyah in the name. But I'm wanting to see where the rotation of TSM is actually working out for them. I do not see them anywhere in the map. Probably wanting to see where they place themselves at this point of time. Yes, it's going to be PVS Gaming who actually needs to make sure that they watch their, upper heads at this point of time, the vertical, terrain in front of them, or else it could be Total Gaming will be coming right onto them anytime soon.
As we look onto TSM FTX, just holding it out outside Mass Electric, there's going to be UG Mania at Mass Electric, so there's going to be a fight happening between these two teams. As we talk about the zone number 2 about to be formed in, and zone number 1 closing in, it's going to be Team D Esports outside the zone. I don't understand the strategy of Team Chaos, who's going outside the zone. I think they knew that there's a team in front of them, and they might engage in that fight. At the same time, I was gonna say the zone is gonna take a southern shift, and yes, it again takes a southeastern shift near the bridge, and it's gonna give the advantage to the people at Pochinok, Kota Tua, and that's going to be Total Gaming who's gonna make most out of it. They're just gonna hold it out, and they're gonna spot Raven Esports coming into the zone, and the last player of Evil Army who's going for a longer rotation. As we talk about Team D Esports using launchers, they have been able to make it towards the zone again and again. They will be making sure that whenever they have to come into the zone, they will take an off angle or a big rotation and try to avoid the teams as much as possible, and then get engaged in the fights in the last stages. And as we talk about Team Chaos, at a very close proximity, Scary knows that there's a team in front of them. He's gonna push on towards them, but at the same time, Team D Mithuala is gonna lead his team away from the fight and just try to play for the placement at the moment, and then fight it out in the last zones.
Yeah, but at the same time, I want people to understand this, that, at the map of Bermuda being so big, it's going to be tough for you to avoid your enemy's eyes when you're trying to take this part of the terrain at Clock Tower, because eventually these compounds is going to reveal everybody's face, everybody's head and back. But at the same time, Team G Esports is going to be people who are going to be gatekeeping Chemin Esports from making it through that bridge. I would like to call this a bridge block coming in from the side of Team DG. They're going to make sure that they're going to restrict two teams at the same time, but they have to understand this, that a divided attention in the leagues, in the wildcards is going to be very, very harsh for them. Mr. JYT spots out Prince, but he has to make sure that Java Boy is pretty much close to him. Java Boy have an opportunity to take down Mr. JYT at this point of time, but eventually JYT is going to run up, put up a glue wall in front of him. JYT is going to process one player down, eventually trying to confirm him. I still don't understand what Java Boy is doing. He had an option of taking down a player, but eventually Kunal Jr. is trying to come in. He's got the hand cannon in his hand with the machine gun. Right now vulnerable because of the zone itself. Let's see how things will turn out for them, as it's going to be UG Mania who will want to run away from this fight, as TSM has taken an off angle and will be welcoming them with a lot of lead.
I know there's a player of TSM FTX somewhere holding his off angle, but I want to see who it is. It's going to be Fabindro, who will make sure that UG Mania will not make it out of Mars Electric, as we look onto the side of Java Boy getting tagged on right now at a very low HP. TSM FTX Fabindro just holding it out. UG Mania is looking very vulnerable at this moment, but they'll have to go in for a longer rotation and make sure that Fabindro is taken down. Otherwise, they won't be able to make it towards the zone. It's very close near the zone, but at the same time, the entire squad of TSM FTX is gonna come for the backup that they need, that Fabindro needs. Fabindro spots a player out in the open. There's a drop called in by Kunal Jr. He goes from an M249, and there's a knock almost coming up from the side of TSM FTX. Java Boy has been tagged off again. Java Boy goes into the cover, but at the same time, there's Desi Gamers who will try to come in and take action. As we talk about the Amitwala going in for that knock onto UG Golden and finishing him off. This is what I was speaking about. Team D Amitwala right now is gonna go in for that push against the side of UG Mania. Kunal is at a very vulnerable position, and Nate being cooked in for the side of Team Desi Gamers. Kunal looking, comes up with the glue wall, popped up at the right time. A knock almost coming in, and yes, the knock comes in. Amitwala has been knocked out, and Kunal Jr. is gonna go in for the knock, and he's trying to go for the finish. But at the same time, Roshan comes in with the proper backup that his team needs and executes the player of UG Mania. That's going to be Kunal. But at the same time, Amitwala pays the price because the zone damage comes in.
Yeah, eventually it's going to be UG Mania as well as Team D Esports who will have to make it inside the circle, because TSM is going to gatekeep them. They are the people who are waiting for these two fights to happen, and eventually they're going to take advantage of all these things. Look at how well they're placed at this point of time. They can make it inside the circle as well, take the shots. Shino on the other side with the Car 98 wants to give a kind of opening so that they'll be able to make it inside the circle, but he has to busy heal up himself as well. Java Boy trying to come in now as an angle towards Fabindro as well. I don't know how well things are going to turn out for Java Boy. If he doesn't go in for a knock, things could be an end. On the other side, exchange of grenades have already started, and we can see that TSM are looking more stronger than any other team at this point of time, all thanks to the zone which is executing so well. Roshan still took some grenade, will be taking down Fabindro at this point of time, but a close range rush coming in already, and we can see that it's going to be TSM who already been slaughtered. It's going to be RSS who's taken on a player as well, but right now TSM have to make sure that they do something special, or else it's going to be goodbye for them.
TSM is going in for all in right now as we look onto Mr. J getting knocked out. Roshan got healed up. Shinu getting healed up to his full potential, but at the same time the zone closing in is gonna deal a lot of damage to both of the teams. As we look onto Roshan, he's going to confirm his kill onto Mr. JYT, looking right now very strong with 4 kills in the hands. Team D Esports have to look back at the last player standing of TSM. That's going to be Old Monk, I guess. It's a 1v2 situation that will be looking. Shinu gets knocked out by FC Man Patel. That Nemesis coming in. Total Gaming also takes into action onto BVS Gaming, and that's going to be Team D Esports getting eliminated at the 12th place. TSM FTX with 2 kills, making their way towards the zone. Lone man standing is going to be Old Monk, just trying to make for the placement points. At the same time, Nemesis is gonna gatekeep them and not allow them to make it towards the zone.
But at the same time, I still don't understand why TSM FTX had to take that push against them. They had to make sure they make it inside the circle. Watching that out was the most important thing for them. Right now, the Car 98 is gonna make him pay, but eventually TSM FTX have to say goodbye in the first map of the wildcards. Not the right kind of start we were expecting from them, but eventually they'll be paying the price for taking a wrong rotation. AFF on the other side gets taken down because of Arin's very good sniping capabilities. Pawan on the other side also holding an angle. He gives the right kind of damage against Carry, and we have to see whether Team Chaos will be making it inside the circle, because AFF are busy gatekeeping them, and it's going to be Nemesis who are going to be converging towards them. And let's see whether this Mexican standoff can actually bring out the best of the team to take the booyah for the rest of the rounds.
So zone advantage on the side of AFF Esports is going to make Team Chaos to push out in the open, and that gives an advantage for AFF Esports to go and slaughter into them. At the same time, PVS comes into action, takes down a player of Total Gaming. Ansh has been knocked out and finished off at the same time. And as we look on to Chaos, Team Chaos, Vivek Tech, KK, Aryan is gonna go in for the push. Scary is gonna hold back. Aryan spots the players of AFF Esports, try to land some shots with the Car 98 and gets a beautiful knock onto Kanishk. At the same time, Raven Esports getting eliminated at the 10th position. Tech, KK wants to go in for that push. Mania last place standing. Java Boy spotted off by Chemin Esports. Ashushta tries to go in for that push, but at the same time getting finished off. So that's the end for Chemin Esports at the 9th place. 8 teams standing with the 5th zone to be formed in the next few seconds. Team Chaos trying to make it towards the zone. Beautiful raid comes in from the side of Pawan. Pawan has got that knock, but a second nade can do a lot damage, but the glue wall has been popped up at the perfect time. And the chrono shield also, but no! It's going to be Pawan who's going to seal the lullaby and take down the team of Team Chaos. The last player standing for them is going to play for the placement points.
But I don't think so. It's going to be easy to play placement points in such a small circle where we have 7 teams already inside. Landmines been put here and there, restricting players from trying to come inside. But on the other side, it's going to be Kanishk who has to revive his teammate. Tech KK on the other side. He's a lone man who's capable of a lot of things happening over here. Let's see how things will turn down. As we can see, it's going to be PVS Gaming versus TG, as one player of either side has already been taken down. Triple kill coming in from the side of Team DG as well. AF Kanishk wants to take an off angle, gets taken down because of KK's landmine, and this is when they're going to start assaulting against the side of AFF, I'm sure. Aaron gets taken down as well, but I don't know how things will turn out for them, as Pawan will be the next person who gets taken down. KK comes in with the Max 7, eventually gets taken down. Not the right kind of ending for the side of Team Chaos, but a good gameplay coming in from their side.
The zone advantage on the side of Team Nemesis Gaming, looking on towards PVS, who's trying to push in towards the zone. At the same time, as we look on to Team Nemesis, they have to take a divided fight against Team AFF Esports, who's going to come in from the back, and DG Mania. That's Desi Gamers in front of them. They have to look out for. At the same time, there's another knock coming in. A grenade launcher being used in by the side of Nemesis. Usef going in again and again with the nade launcher in his hand. He just wants to wait it out for the team of AFF to go in for that push. Last 2 players standing is going to be Kanishk and Rahil. Right now with 4 kills, dominating the match. Beautiful lead from the side of Nemesis Mind Gamer. Takes down the entire squad of AFF Esports, finishing off at the 4th place. And PVS, Yogi being taken down at the same time. And PVS also gets eliminated. That's Desi Gamers Ignite coming into action. Then so many nades being spammed at the right moment. The last 2 teams, 4 men standing for the side of Desi Gamers with 9 kills in the name. 4v4 situation. Let's see if Nemesis or Team Desi Gamers is going to take this booyah in the name.
Yeah, the Desi Gamers will operate probably by Monish at this point of time, and he'll be vouching for them to actually take this in their name. It's going to be Nemesis who are making a mistake of actually falling back to an exit over here. Team DG looks to be a bit more promising. There's one person of Team DG who has to make it to the center of the circle. Man Patel on the other side will be holding it at the center itself. Now Team DG, one player already down. It's going to be a 3v4 situation, I'm sure about it. Ignite is a person who's already started to take them down as well. 10 kills in the name of DG is something to watch out for. At the same time, a push comes in from their side. Insane will be the last man. It's going to be Nemesis Gaming taking the first booyah in the wildcards, and a very, very good start for their side. But let's not forget, the number of kills being taken by the side of Team DG is really, really commendable.
Well, I think some of Desi Gamers will be taking home with 11 or 10 kills in the name.
Yeah, 10 kills for sure.
That's almost a booyah in the name again. But let's see how many kills were executed by Nemesis. And as we look on to Team Total Gaming finishing off at the 6th, PVS at the 5th, and AFF at 4th, if I'm correct. But Total Gaming, but somewhere I think TSM FTX had an upper hand if they had not taken that fight at Mars Electric against the side of Team UG Mania.
Yeah, the kind of rotation they had, they could have just early access into the circle rather than taking that ugly fight. They knew that 2 teams are fighting out, they'll be left out with only 1 team. It's just that they did not have the right kind. Probably the timing went wrong as to when to push in, and all those things happen over there for them. But at the same time, let's not forget the fight between Team DG and PVS. Somewhere we felt that Total Gaming have an opportunity, but PVS actually slaughtered them. Made sure that all 4 men were standing from the side of PVS, and then they came in. But let's not forget the good grenadiers coming in from the side of Nemesis as well as Team DG. I don't know. There was one person with the grenade launcher not connecting shots.
That was Uzef not connecting. Mind Gamer getting the knocks onto AFF, finish onto AFF Esports.
The reason why I said Uzef is obviously because he was concentrating on the player once they were still, rather than pointing at the crosshair at the point of finish. It's important for him to actually learn a little more about the grenade launchers for sure. But Mind Gear comes in from behind and he's like, that is not how you cook grenades. This is how you do it. And then eventually AFF were all out. But at the same time, DG comes up with a grenade to clear off.
I think that was insane coming up with the grenade and taking down the entire squad of PVS or AFF. I think it was AFF was finished off by the side of Nemesis.
So PVS by the side of Mind Game, by the side of Insane, I believe.
And I think there was a fight between between Team Chaos, Last Person Standing, and AFF Esports. That made them pay a cost. They did not watch out for the landmine,
Yep.
and Pawan had to eventually pay the cost, and Scary getting taken down. So Team Chaos was finished off in the 5th place. Somewhere we'll know it when the overall point standings will be in front of us. But good start for Team Nemesis at the same time. And I think at the 12th place, we had one of the teams ending at the 12th place. If I remember it correctly, it's going to be either TSM FTX or UG Mania.
12th place.
I
A
think
disappointing name for sure.
Disappointing name,
I
but-
don't want to speak about any more disappointments as we have stepped into the wild cards. For now, we'll be looking at the teams which are actually doing good. Let's not forget the kill points of Team DG. That's going to be putting them on the top of the table. This is the difference, ladies and gentlemen. We always speak about a booyah comes in with your name,
Well,
and
yes.
you have 20 points and around 5 kills in your name. That's going to be 30 points. On the other side, we have teams like, Desi Gamers coming with just 10 kills in their name, 20 points already registered, and another, how many?
15 to 17, I
Yeah,
guess.
again comes in. They're going to be leading with a 5 to 6 points difference, and that is how you make it into the wildcards as well. Earlier game, get those early booyahs with the highest number of kills, and somehow you'll be making it safe, because that was a strategy used by 4Unknown and
Yeah,
Blind
because
Esports,
when you
and
see
then
teams-
eventually they made it into the finale directly.
When you know like teams like Blind Esports or 4Unknown are not there in the wildcards, they know that these are the teams that usually
Yeah.
go out to slaughter the teams in front of them. They'll just go in for that loot location, regular drop location, get whatever they have. They'll farm that place like in and out and just get whatever they have and move out and try to take down
Yeah.
the team, and then stock up on their supplies rather than just going out in the open and trying to loot whatever compounds that are put in front of them.
Yeah, but at the same time, the first fight between Raven Esports and Evil Army is
Oh my,
something
my.
I would want to see, because ultimately what is the most important strategy for you to do is restrict your opponents from farming throughout the place, and that is what Raven Esports are actually doing really well. They had restricted Evil Army from actually making it inside the compounds and getting loot in their name. They had restricted them, made them that stay at the corners. They had an advantage coming in from different angles. It's just that, once your crosshair are working out for the side of Evil Army, that is when you actually can't play a game like that. They had one treatment gun which actually saved them a lot of HP, and due to which they were able to bounce back. But at the same time,
We'll be
right
looking
now,
at something new coming in from the side of the production. Let's see how the graph of the 12 teams are looking right now, because as we look onto the graph, I think that's the kill points coming in.
that's the
That's
kind of
damage.
being dealt against the kill points. The highest number of damage obviously coming in
Team D
from
Esports.
the time of Team D Esports. I mean, they were able to execute something really good, and due to which they are able to execute 11 kills. Right behind them is going to be Team Chaos with 11 kills yet again. I believe that, we were a little bit wrong when we said that,
There's only one team.
yeah, there's only one team. It's going to be Team D Esports also doing the same kind of job, but it's just that they won't be able to get that booyah in the name. But at the same time, right behind them is going to be, look at the kind of damage Total Gaming has done over here. 4,176.
I think that's more than
the
Team D Esports,
highest
yeah.
by
Yeah.
any team, but they were able to execute just 8 kills. Because when you are the kings, everybody going to come against you, slaughter you
Yeah.
in the beginning itself. TSM again coming in with 3,400, the second highest by anybody over there, but still the third highest, I'm so sorry, but still they were able to execute 8 kills in the name. This is the kind of momentum I would want to see. If Total Gamings and TSM are able to maintain this, they'll be able to do so. But let's not forget Desi Gamers on the other corner with 3 kills, 1,664. But the most important thing which they got was a little bit away from the booyah.
Well, at the same time, as we talk about Team D Esports, I think Team D Esports was able to dissect through UG Mania. That
Yeah.
was at the beginning in the Mass Electric.
Yeah.
And when they were trying to make it towards the zone, there was Nemesis already holding it. And TSM FTX, the last place standing, was Old Monk, who
Old
gave his
Monk,
life.
yeah.
Who gave his life outside the zone. He knew that not to waste that valuable 2 kill points, not to give it to any other team.
Yeah.
Because eventually it will cost them if they not make it towards the finals just
Yeah,
by 2
exactly.
points or something. So that's a wise decision coming from, because he knew there's no other option rather than run out in the open, and supplies were also running low. They had an option to go into the zone. I hope that TSM FTX sticks to the rotation and tries to take a longer rotation. They could have either gone from Mass Electric and gone towards Cape Town. I think the zone was coming in a little bit close, but at the same time, they
But
could
still, see,
Cape Town
when
and then
two
towards
teams are
Kotawa.
fighting, you can actually make it inside the circle.
Yeah.
You know where the rotation can come in from. Try to gatekeep those players, because eventually, if you're coming in late, you have to be ready for somebody else to gatekeep you. And eventually, that is what happened to them as well. well. But at the same time, you need to have some good snipers who can give you an opening to make it into the final circle, because that's the most important thing for sure. When you know that you have two good snipers in your team, that is when you take a late rotation, and that is for sure. But for now, we'll be looking at the matchup yet again between the two teams. Yes, the same two teams coming up over here. It's going to be PVS, Mania, Chemin, Desi, Team D Esports, Evil Army will be taking up Total Gaming, TSM, Team Chaos, AFF, Nemesis, as well as Raven Esports.
Well, I think we'll have the same matchups coming in for throughout the entire week, and at the same time, the next match is going to be the map of Kalahari. So every team has an opportunity to play in Kalahari thrice, Bermuda thrice, every day, 3 days. So that comes up to say that 18 matches, 1 down, 17 to go, and every team has the different drop location. Let's see. I want some teams like Total Gaming try to go in towards Refinery rather than going to Santa Catarina.
This is what I had always thought about before. But eventually, when you're a professional team trying to strategize, you would want to make sure that you have guns in your name before you enter into a war. You don't want to go empty-handed and give your kill points to your opponents. And that is what Total Gaming is really good at. Get those early kills, get an average of 5 to 6 kills or minimum 8 kills in your name, and then you'll be able to do so. Let's look at what is going to happen from here on. You, me, and Masab, all three of us are going to go with Total Gaming, because we all saw what he can do in the game of Bermuda. But we all know, apart from 4 unknown, if there are some kings of Kalahari, it's going to be this team. It's going to be Munish who will be going for Evil Army, a good choice I would want to believe. Warloop going for TSM, Desi Gamers from PVS. Then we have one more person from the Telugu guest going in for Evil Army, and I think
there's DK going in for
Team D Esports. Always.
Team D Esports, yeah.
He always goes in for them, and eventually sometimes they've disappointed in him. Sometimes they made sure that they
his consistency has been kept up. He's gonna opt in for Team D Esports. Let's say if Team D Esports is able to do it in the second match, as they always go in for Refinery, and this time there's no Kings of Refinery to contest them. The drop location will be theirs, and only
Desi Gamers
might
with
go in.
Team D Esports.
Let's see.
I can expect these two to actually take an early skirmish for sure.
And a Refinery at the center of the map itself.
But I believe a team which will actually jump into sub, not have any kind of skirmishes, will be making it into the final circle and probably having the booyah. For the last time, we are able to see all the teams climbing up the flight path. It's going to be much more awesome for most of these teams to actually making it into the finale, because we have strong teams already up there. Top 6 playing really strong. Wildcard Day 1 match 2 in the flight of Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series. We'll be looking at it go over the map of Kalahari at this point of time, and the flight path seems to be pretty much visible as we're able to see Refinery right below us. So that's going to be a dissection right to the center.
And looking at sub, starting off at sub, going in towards Refinery, Bayfront, and finishing off between Shrines and Council Hall. It's going to be a northeastern plane path that's coming up on our screens, and we'll look on to the blue zone formed at Old Hampton. There's no teams right now at Refinery, and something different coming up from the side of AFF Esports, who have decided to go in for Refinery. And and looking at Team Chaos, they have decided to go in for somewhere at Bayfront, where Team Chaos will be fighting them off. This is something I have not expected from these two teams, and we have Evil Army Yash out in the open, being a scout for his team, fighting off against Raven Esports. And I think Team D Roshan is very vulnerable right now because he does not have a gun in his hand. Vivek has a Uzi. He's gonna go in for that knock, and almost a knock coming in. And yes, he gets that knock onto him, and he's gonna go in for the finish. First kill coming from the side of Team Chaos. Carry gets knocked out. A trade coming in from the side of DNRSS, making sure that one more player is knocked out. Aryan tries to go in for the fight, but gets knocked off by RNSS again on a killing spree. 2 kills already in the name of Team D Esports. Team Chaos, last 2 players standing, is going to be Tech KK and Vivek, who is trying to go and fall back at this moment, because they'll have to fall back. No loots in the hand, no supplies in the hand. That's a wise decision to be taken by the side of Team Chaos.
But at the same time, I know Team D Esports is going to capitalize on this. They want to go in and make sure that they get the rest of the 2 kills after getting a decent farming. Vivek on the other side is going to keep an eye on them for sure with that XM8. With just 1 health kit, no helmet and vest, could be pretty much vulnerable. 1 shot to his head, and that could be goodbye for Vivek. Eventually falling back to make sure he teams up with his teammate. It's going to be Tech KK on the other side with the level 1 helmet. He's got the AUG, not the right kind of gun. Now the push comes in from the side of Team D Esports. I just hope that they do not have grenades, because if they do have, then it's going to be bad. Tech KK with that MP40 tries to go in a bit forward. Vivek comes in from behind. He is able to trade one person off. And with Walla gets taken out. RNSS will be the last man standing. Let's see whether he'll be able to do something special over here. TechKK not going in for revival, waiting for the other players to actually come in over here with that MP40. Let's see whether he'll be able to take the player down. RNSS has a max 7, and that is something to watch on for. With 38 HP, jumps back, goes in for a run away from the team, comes in from a different angle. I don't think it's a wise decision for him, but eventually, let's see which team will be actually standing alive, as RNSS and Amitwala will be choosing to rotate around the building and find out where TechKK has actually gone in.
TechKK had an advantage to go in for the push when it was a 1v1 standing, but he decided not to take it.
It was the Chrono Shield which was restricting him.
At the same time, as we look on to the side of TechKK, he has decided to finally fall back, and the side of Team D Esports also deciding to go in for a different loot location or trying to fall back and gather some supplies, heal up to the full potential, and then take the fight if possible against the side of Team Chaos. It's time to look up to the match point standings of the last game. Let's see which team is on the top, as I'm pretty sure it's going to be Desi Gamers at the top with 39 points, and Nemesis, even though in spite of getting that booyah, they'll be at the second place with 30 points.
Yeah, this is what we spoke about, the kind of kill points you'll be having in the name, and then eventually it's going to be Desi Gamers, 40 points coming in from their side. A huge leap of faith taken from them, and I believe that's going to help them for a brief period of time. Total Gaming with 10 points, Chemin Esports with 10 points, Evil Army with 10 points distributed, PVS with 21, a good average coming in from their side with AFF Gaming. So let's see how things will turn out for them. Let's not forget the performance of Team Chaos in this game, where from a 2v4 they converted it into a 1v2, and I believe that's going to be a good trade coming in from their side. Desi Gamers on the other side, they're going to be stacking up with a lot of loot, decent amount of loot, level 4 vest, level 3 helmet. Look at the number of health kits they have on their name, and glue walls coming on their name. It's going to be Shanti. They're going to be summoning some drops as well, and Team DG looks more promising than how they were in the previous map.
And as we look on to the MVP of the previous game, is going to be none other than Desi Gamers Ignite with 6 kills, 1722 damage, 0 headshots, 2 assists, and I think he well deserves it, because coming up with the maximum number of 6 kills already in his name. So I think 4 kills were they had a total of 10 kills, 11 kills, 6 kills executed by him, the rest 5
with
by
the grenades. Let's not forget the grenade. Even though it did the kind of damage, it's just that this man was very good at head-on frontal battle, where he was able to take down enemies with his gun power itself. But at the same time, let's see how things are going to turn out for Team TG, as they come in from the same rotation into Refinery, where they'll be holding that angle off at one corner of Refinery, where they believe that they cannot be challenged and they have the strongest path over here. But at the same time, CS Esports trying to jump in with the launchers, making it towards pretty much close to Refinery. Everybody are actually stacking up at Refinery, but I know if TSM can hold it off at sub, they'll be easily making it into the final circle, as the circle is going to take a southern shift anytime soon, as my prediction could be coming in right this time. But at the same time, Evil Army versus Total Gaming is something to watch out for, as we saw some exchange of bullets coming in from their side. Look at the lineup of Total Gaming this time. They have Fozzy Ajay, they have Delete coming in, they have Mafia coming in, and on the other side we have Ansh coming in rather than Mafia Bala. Let's see whether Ansh will be able to do something different, as Delete is trying to come in. Shanti takes down PVS. On the other side is going to be Mafia taking down Beam as well, and that could be the right beginning for them, as Evil Army, one player already on, 2 player gets taken down as well. Mafia with the Khan 98 doing an amazing job. Fozzy Ajay gets taken down. It's time for him to get revived, or else things could be really bad for Total Gaming, as this could be the beginning of the end. Every time they get taken, Fozzy Ajay gets taken down, it's going to be confirmation coming in from their side, and that's going to be goodbye for Total Gaming.
And last 2 players standing for Team Total Gaming, will they be able to revive the teammates? But at the same time, Ansham comes in from the back, does not spot the player just in front of them, tries to go in for the knock. No, he hasn't been able to get the knock yet, but gets traded off by Evil Army. TH Evil coming in, and the last player standing for Mafia, for Team Total Gaming is going to be Mafia with Disguise coming in. He's going to use ghillie suit in front of him.
Yeah, it's going to be the camouflage suit. Yeah, he's trying to do his best, and right now Mafia is going to be slaughtered for sure. Tries to rely on the Sith, but won't be able to do so, and it's going to be Evil Army who's dissected through the kings of Kalahari, apart from 4 unknown. Total Gaming being very, very vulnerable in the Snapdragon Conquest itself. Previous Gaming, after losing Nobita, Yogi is still holding that angle. He knows that there's a fight happening over there with a lot of glue walls around. He wants to make sure that he gets some kills in his name, but at the same time, what a bad gameplay coming in from the side of Total Gaming. They get pushed in perfectly, but after Fozzy Ajay gets taken down, I don't know what happens to the team. The whole team trembles and falls down, and eventually that could be the mistake for them, which they have to rectify anytime soon.
Well, as we look on to Evil Army with 4 kills in the name, they have been able to dissect towards Total Gaming, and they have to make it towards the zone eventually. A UAV being summoned by one of the teams that's close by. I think that's a UAV summoned by some players at Refinery, but we'll know it for sure as we look on to Evil Army farming on the loot of the crates from Team Total Gaming. And right now, looking at the supplies, Evil Army looks very strong. PVS with 1 player down is gonna hold somewhere close to Refinery. Desi Gamers also gonna stay and hold their fort right now, whereas Nemesis with all the 4 players have decided to play a split gameplay, and they'll have to watch out for Desi Gamers, who are keen and looking out like a hawk, waiting to pounce on it prey. And Nemesis Mr. Gamer with the level 3 vest and helmets look very promising at this moment. And as we look onto the zone number 2 about to be formed, and I am probably hoping it to be a concentric,
what
but
did
no,
I say?
it went in for a southern shift. And as you said, the teams that are going to hold at sub is going to be an advantage. That's going to be TSM FTX right now, who are engaged in that fight against Team Raven Esports, and at Mammoth, AFF Esports just gonna wait it out till all the teams, while they make it out of Refinery, will be fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah, but at the same time, TSM not required for them to take this fight. All they have to do is fall back at sub, hold the top angle over there, and try to take the fight to the enemies at the nth moment. No, the push comes in from the side of JYT. He wants to make sure that he goes in. He's been tagged at this point of time. A small angle is more than enough for Deadshot to actually take that shot against them. But let's see how things will turn out, as Raven Esports will want to regroup at this point of time. Deadshot going in for the grenade. He cooks up a good one. He tosses it. He does the right kind of damage. But eventually, Old Monk was able to somehow make it into the cover when the shots were being dealt by him. But at the same time, Ajit has also dealt a lot of damage. RE on the other side. Let's see how things will turn out, as Old Monk is also being tagged and healing at the same time. JYT on the other side is wanting to dissect through the glue wall. Wants to make sure that he takes down the players of Team RE inside. But it's going to be a 1v2 wherein it's back up immediately.
At the same time, they have to look out for Nemesis coming in from the back. Raven Esports looks at very trouble right now as Prasanna gets tagged at the same moment. Mr. Jai being popping in glue walls is going to cut himself off from his team. Shai Shankar trying to give the advantage from the back, but at the same time, Mr. Jai has been knocked out. The glue wall about to be taken down in a few moments. And
good one.
And that's going to be an end. He's going to almost knock himself out, just saved by a few inches right there. And as we look on to Mr. Jai getting finished off, at the same time, Evil Army right now suffering at the hands of AFF Esports. As we come back to Raven Esports, Prasanna had a beautiful that nade. I don't know how that nade didn't take himself down.
It's just at the nth moment when you try to lift your finger, that is when the flick happens, and eventually that was able to do so. Loverboy on the other side is also trying to do something special over here. Yogi is going to nade himself. Kaushik is going to be welcoming him to his death at that point of time with a Max 7, but eventually CS Gaming looks a bit more promising than PVS at this point of time. Iko on the top with that Max 7 wants to do much damage as possible. A grenade cooked onto his face could be the beginning of the end for PVS Gaming, as Loverboy is pushed back at this point of time, and Kaushik on the other side cooks up a grenade, cracks it, make sure he takes down Loverboy. Iko is pretty much vulnerable at this point of time. I think this could be the end of PVS Gaming, as the last man standing, Iko, will be welcoming with a lot of nets and nades, leads and nades, I'm so sorry. And eventually Kaushik goes in with the Kar 98, takes him down, and that's going to be an elimination for PVS at the 11th spot.
Total Gaming finishing off at 12th and PVS finishing off at 11th. What a turn the match has taken in the map of Kalahari, as we'll come on back to Team Evil Army getting that fight against Team D Esports. RNS is getting knocked out, and RNS is getting finished off at the hands of Evil Army, as we come back towards the fight between Team Raven Esports, TSM FTX, Nemesis, and that's UG Mania coming into action. 4 squads at a very close proximity to each other, where Fab Indro wants to go in for the push. Raven Esports Deadshot might try to take a knock onto the side of Amidron. He might cook in a nade, and that nade might be the end for Team TSM FTX, as AFF Esports is also at a very close proximity. They know there are multiple squads fighting it out, and we will be taking the advantage of it when the zone eventually closes in, as we have the zone closing in the next 20 seconds with the first one about to be closed. And yes, the nade comes in, and yes, a knock has happened right here, where Old Monk has been knocked out at this moment, and Deadshot wants to go in for that push, but at the same time has to look out for the back, where Nemesis are already holding location. Deadshot have decided to fall back rather than taking that fight in the open.
Yeah, but eventually TSM right now being blessed by the cover fire of Nemesis. But let's not forget that AWF Esports pretty much close to them. I see another team which is present at the side of the sub, and due to which, they have been restricting them from moving around. Team DJ on the other side takes down Aim God, will be finishing him as well. But at the same time, Raven Esports I mean, the kind of damage they've dealt in this game, I don't know how well things are going to turn out for them. TSM FTX, wrong rotation coming in from their side. Let's see how well they'll be able to hold off for a brief period of time. Kaushik on the other side in a close range battle with Harsh. Let's see how things will turn out. Kaushik gets taken down by Harsh with that MP40. Will be confirmed as well, as we're expecting the last player of the other team to actually take down the side of Team DG, who looks so strong at this point of time. All 4 men standing with 3 kills already in their name. Beam on the other side gets taken down by Rahil after being taunted every now and then, and he's going to be confirmed as well.
Desi gamers with all the 4 players standing, 3 kills already in the name, looking very promising as they have to move into the zone in the next few seconds. As we talk about Tech KK, the last player standing for Team Chaos, 2 kills in the name, they have to move out into the zone. And as we talk about UG Mania going in for the push onto the side of Nemesis Gaming is going to give them the opening that they need, and at the same time Raven Esports goes in for the push onto the side of Esports, able to execute the kill. UG Mania, Java Boy comes into action, takes down one Patel, knocks him out and finishes him off. A nade being spammed from the side of UG Mania. Jr. getting knocked out from a nade coming from the side of Mind Gamer. Mind Gamer has been the player who has been able to take it. Golden getting knocked out. This is an opening for Nemesis to go in for the push on the side of UG Mania. Java Boy getting spotted on at the same time. Another nade comes in and it might be the end for Team UG Mania as we look onto Uzef going in for that push onto the side of UG Mania. Prince out in the open getting spotted. Knocked out by his own nade, and that's going to be an end for Team Chaos. But at the same time, as we look out to Nemesis, Mind Gamer has been finished off. It's Java Boy who is doing most of the action for his team. Uzef has been knocked out. Uzef is gonna get finished off in the next few moments. Getting off by Mind Gamer. Mind Gamer comes in for the backup that the team needs. Uzef is gonna get the revive. At the same time, Kunal Jr. comes in. 4 players still standing, 2 players knocked out. Uzef gets that revive, almost getting that revive. Prince has been finished off by the zone. Golden trying to make it towards the zone. Let's see if Nemesis is able to hold this fight against Team UG Mania as Uzef getting knocked out, and that's by Kunal Jr. Nemesis getting finished off at the 9th position.
But eventually, what a gameplay coming in from their side. They're going to be welcomed with the Raven Esports. SK shots coming in from their side. A very good gameplay from the side of Raven Esports, holding the right angle. I said TSM had a very bad rotation from their side, but eventually the zone is going to favor them a lot. And one player, one caster is going to be very happy who's going to vouch for them at this point of time. Shotty takes down Ashustar, I'm so sorry, with the Max 7. And let's see how things are going to turn out as 2 teams, Raven Esports and TSM, were fighting out with one another from the first circle, still alive, fighting it out yet again. And this time the table have turned, and Ravens are pretty much vulnerable at this point of time.
As we look on to Ametron getting that out of this game as Old Monk has been knocked out. This game comes in for the from the side of Raven Esports, goes in for the confirmation onto the side of TSM FTX player. As we talk about Shanti getting the revive, they have to come down from the top of the hill, but at the same time have to watch out for the team that's in front of them. That's going to be Raven Esports. Ajit has been taken down. Shanti gets finished off by the side of Ametron. Ajit gets totally taken down by the side of Ignite. He was knocked out at the moment. And the last player standing for this game is going to be Harsh, who's going to getting spotted off Sai Shankar. He spotted off Sai Shankar, gets that knock onto him, trying to go in for the push, but at the same time Pawan had his crosshairs set onto the side of these gamers and finishing them off at the 5th position. Looking on to Raven Esports, the last 2 players standing is going to be Prasanna and Deadshot. 6 kills already in the enemy. Evil Army finishing off at the 3rd place. The last 3 teams standing right now is TSM FTX. AFF Esports comes in from the pack, goes in for the push onto the side of TSM FTX. Raven Esports just holding it out. They know that there's going to be a fight happening between TSM FTX and AFF Esports, and Ganesh comes in for the push. Ametrod just holding it out. Ravel getting spotted off at the same moment. A nade being cooked in from the side of Pawan might take down the entire squad of TSM FTX.
But at the same time, this fight is turning out to be more slower than you, my friend. We can see that the glue wall's been dealt up by both the sides. Raven Esports will be trying to push in. TSM holding the right kind of angle at this point of time. Bafia is going to be cooking up grenade. Deadshot comes in a bit more closer. TSM not worried about anything over here. They'll be playing it safe. Prasanna with that M10 wants to push in. Let's see. Kanishka tries to push up. Pawan gets taken down. TSM will be left out with a 1-man, 2-man standing. There's going to be Kanishk who's been held out at this point of time with Rahil. It's going to be a 2v2 fight coming in from their side. It's going to be Ahmadron coming in from behind. He has to connect that shot against Kanishk. I hope he does so, as he'll be taken down because of the zone. No, it's going to be Kanishk connecting that shot with that UMP. Getting the booyah for AFF Esports. What a gameplay coming in from these teams. Raven Esports had an advantage at one point of time, but eventually it was AFF who took them. I think the major chunk of the pie was taken off by AFF.
Raven Esports finishing off 2 players of AFF Esports gave the opening for TSM FTX to go in for that push, but they weren't able to execute it. 1 knock coming in from the side of TSM FTX. AFF Esports 1 player down. All that Ametron needed to do was
connect
take
one shot of M18.
Shot. Well, then he was at low HP also. So,
but because of the glue walls being put up by the side of Raven Esports.
AFF Esports who wanted to
AFF
AFF Esports.
No, AFF was already over here. Raven were trying to come in from the other side.
No,
Raven
the
put up.
AFF went for that push onto Raven, right? When the Raven were coming
Yeah,
up, Raven
but
popped
yeah,
up.
they
Chrono
went in
Shield.
from the left.
Yeah.
But from the right, it was Raven who came in. They put up the 2 glue walls. Somewhere
Block the
Amedron
exit.
thought that he
Block
can
the
take that
exit.
rotation.
Block the exit of TSM.
Yeah, longer rotation coming in from their side. Everything seems to be planned out for TSM at that point of time. Luck was favoring them a lot, I
The
would
zone
love to
did not.
say.
The zone
It's
did
just that the zone. It's just that luck left them at the nth moment where Amedron was not able to connect one shot against him. It was at one point of time I saw Amedron's HP was coming down to 5-2, but then eventually, you know,
We
a
knew that.
UMP was a better gun. Obviously, you know, when you're fighting against the zone and a player, it's better to have a gun, you know, which you'll be able to dodge the enemy and then take a shot. Sometimes if your crosshair is really good, go for M18 or else go for a gun like Thompson, UMP or MP40 because
Or-
eventually if you're able to dodge that and connect the shot, 1 or 2 bullets is more than enough for you to get the booyah in your name.
Or be like Old Monk and going with the melee at the end.
Yeah. If I believe if it was Old Monk or somebody, they would have
Yeah,
for
obviously
sure gone for a
melee.
melee. They would have run around with the melees, you know, the
Just
side
just
moving
going-
around.
And
I
just
mean-
trying to get one headshot, and that would have been the
Not
end for
even a
them.
headshot, a body shot is
body
more
shot
than
also,
enough.
Yeah, just taking the entire team down. But at the same time, TSM FTX finishing at the second place is gonna give them the bounce that they needed. This is
But
the second
kill
match.
points will also
Yeah,
matter for
always
them,
matter
right?
for them, yeah.
So let's see how things will turn
They
out.
just
But it
waited
looks
it out
like
in the
Desi
tank.
Gamers had some
I had
decent
an
number of
advantage,
kills
yeah.
in the
I
name.
think again they have the maximum number of kills in this match when it comes. Let's see if it's going to be AFF
Yeah.
Esports. And I think AFF Esports, Pawan was a man who was just holding it out at the top of the ridge, making sure he has an angle to anyone who is trying to come down from the ridge
Yep.
or anyone who is trying to make it towards the zone. He was able to execute a number of kills. So I think somewhere the MVP of this match is going to be Pawan, but we'll know it for sure. But let's talk about the rotations coming in from the side of Team Esports. They went in for that drop location. I think they contested it against Team Chaos. Team Chaos had a fight against Team Esports at Bayfront, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
first
in the
fight
beginning
happened
itself.
In the beginning itself. And they lost 3 of the players. And the last player standing, Tech KK, went in for a longer rotation, made it towards Refinery. And I am sure that they made somewhere towards the top 6 or top 7.
But ultimately, I would want to say this that, you know, sticking on to your team, we have always explained this. 4 players, the chances of booyah is 25%, each making it a 100% chance for you to get the booyah. One player gets taken down, that makes it
75.
25% shorter, that's 75% for you. 2 more player gets taken down, you just
50.
have 25% of taking the booyah in the name. And there are very, very rare players in the game
Who
of Free
can do
Fire who can actually convert that 25 into 100 as we speak about the further matches. See, all these days we have seen one thing that, you know, there was an exchange in groups. Now everybody will be facing off one another throughout the day, so they know that this is the team I'll be facing at this drop location. For now we'll be looking at the graph of which team has given the most number of damage, and the damage given by the team of Evil Army will be registered as 3,956 with just 6 kills in the name, probably the highest, as they'll be sharing it with Raven Esports with 3,876 and 6 kills.
And AFF Esports with 6 kills also. So 3 teams with 6 kills. That comes up to say that all teams have equal number of kills among themselves. That the kills have been distributed equally. As we look on to Team UG Mania with 4 kills, TSM FTX with 3, in spite of getting at the second place. So that comes up to say that UG Mania has 6 points in the name with 3 kills, and I think that's it.
See, look at Nemesis, 1,400 damage, but yet one kill coming in from their side. PVS Gaming 1,100 damage, again 1 kill. It's good to see that everybody have at least 1 kill in the name. It's just that Total Gaming PVS, everybody is going to stick on the bottoms. We always thought that, you know, these experienced teams will have an opportunity when it comes to the map of Kalahari. A shorter one, you know, vertical advantage, everything coming into play as well. But still, things are not working out for them. Let's see how things will turn out from here on, as we'll be stepping into the next map. That's going to be the map of Bermuda. And yet again, we'll be looking at the matchup of these 12 teams,
just 12
which will
teams
be
again.
facing off one another yet again.
Well, again, it's time to go in for the match number 3. So it's going to be
Map of Bermuda.
Map of Bermuda. As we look onto the teams joining us for the match number 3 of the wild card, is going to be PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, Evil Army coming in once again. So it's going to be the same teams eventually at the end of the day, because 12 teams overall over 3 days. It's again the 12 teams coming in. So I don't think we need to take the names again and again, but still let's take it once again, because we have a new caster on desk with Mridul Kapoor joining us at the moment.
Well, definitely now taking a look over to the second chart of the teams, we have Total Gaming, TSM FTX, Team Chaos, AFF Esports, Nemesis, and Team Raven Esports.
As we talk about Raven Esports, they have to come again, and let's see if they are able to do it in this game. As we look onto team like AFF Esports, they have to make some comeback in this game.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with the performance of Desi gamers. They have made that stance with the first game, getting the second place, not being able to execute a booyah, but still maximum number of points, 39 points. Second game, a consistency has been kept up.
Definitely.
We'll know the overall standings when it comes when in the middle of the third game, so we'll know it how they have been able to perform in the last game.
Yeah.
Desi gamers is going to be at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the day. That's somewhat my prediction.
You know, definitely Insane is one of those guys from Team Desi Gamers who has never ever held us down, because definitely his gameplay has been up and up always and every time. And now we are going towards the caster predictions before we take a look over to the match. And now we have from Hindi Desk Team Chaos from both the casters. Okay, Masab and Oro choosing Team Chaos. Well, on the English desk, my choice is Team Nemesis and your choice is
It's going to be
TSMFTX.
yes. Joining with me is again T18 Gaming from the Telugu desk. So somewhere I feel that this is an opportunity for TSMFTX to come back again, because just missing the booyah from the last game, they'll try to come back again and get the booyah. So PVS being opted by 2, Chaos by 2, TSMFTX by 2, and Evil Army and Nemesis are the only odd ones out. So let's see how it works out in your favor or not. Evil Army was opted by you, right?
Yeah.
So what's your reasoning behind it? Why have you opted for Team Evil Army at this moment?
Actually it was Team Nemesis. Well, Nemesis and AFF Esports, you just saw them, right? In the first match, Nemesis got that booyah. Well, it was before that I chose the team, but today is the day when these teams who have not performed that much good in the wildcards or sorry for that in the league stages, and even after that they are performing really, really good in the wildcards. So yes, this is the chance when you have to do or die, because in the league stages you have done your part, but you haven't qualified for the finals directly. You have one more chance to qualify for the finals, and now you have to do what you have to do.
Well, everyone, it's a do or die situation for them, because coming up they have 3 days, but eventually they have to keep up the consistency from the first day itself. Because as we talk about the league stages also, in the first week itself, if all the teams that were at the bottom who played in the last week so well, if they had done that in the first week, second weeks also, it would have been helpful for them. It would have been very much advantageous for them to just stay up in the top, but eventually they had to bid the goodbyes and had to leave at the final day. Like teams like Anima Gaming, I feel like they still have an opportunity in the coming days, where Snapdragon Conquest will be coming up with new talent, new conquests for them, new seasons, and let's see how it moves on. But it's time to move on towards the flight path of the next match. It's going to be the match number 3 with the map of Bermuda. And looking at the flight path, again the teams joining us, we'll see the logos on a screen. But as we talk about the teams, let's see about Chemin Esports, if they're able to do it. Raven Esports also, TSMFTX, again PVS Gaming and Total Esports getting finished off early in both the matches is going to make them a bit more vulnerable. Let's see if they're able to pop back again by the end of the day, or how the leaderboard keeps on changing.
Well, now here's the plane of the Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series Wildcard Day number 1, and this is the map number 3, where we have an angle on Team PVS Gaming. Okay, so the flight path is on the northern side of the map, starting off from the hangar, going towards the mill, dividing the map into 80-20 ratio, whereas Team Ujimena, they've already dropped off for their favorite drop. Team Chaos also going towards the graveyard, whereas now we can also see Team Nemesis dropping off. So yes, these are the teams we are having an eye on. Well, you have an eye on TSMFTX too, because previously it was Urka in the match of Kalahari, and now you have an eye on them in the map of Bermuda. Well, taking a look over to the Team D Esports, they'll be going towards the shipyard, and yes, TSMFTX as usual, they are on the factory.
And this time TSMFTX, as we saw in league stages, they always had a split gameplay coming in, 2 players going in towards factory, 2 players towards Mars Electric. But this time they have decided to stick together, because they know how vulnerable they will be if they don't do that. And as we look on towards the blue zone, right now it's going to be Team Raven Esports and Team Evil Army fighting it off against at Cape Town as well as Keraton, because both of the teams have divided themselves against each other. As we look on to the first player to be dropping in towards the area is going to be Evil Army Beam, and then Yash is falling close by. Evil also comes in with a close range. Beam already gets a gun in his hand. He might go in for the push onto the side of Team Raven Esports and try to dissect them and try to take down a player 1 or 2. Let's see if he's able to do so. But the fourth player from the team is going to be Black Tiger, who's far away from his team right now, somewhere near Keraton, and making his way eventually towards Cape Town.
Well, these are the two teams right now firing upon the Cape Town, and whereas we can also see one more team entering this drop, that is going to be Team Chemin Esports. They haven't looted much,
Well-
and yes, they do know that they haven't looted much, so yes, they are going for the Sentosa Island. But if Black Tiger gets a gun, he can just go in for the rush and get around 1 to 2 frags that are really important for Team Evil Army, as well as Beam already in the close range vicinity of the enemy team. And now we have Aim God just on the zip line going towards the Sentosa Island and joining his teammates.
Chemin Esports have already always opted for Sentosa, so they
Yeah.
I don't think it's something new coming up from the side, because Chemin Esports, Kaushik already has a gun. Always the player at the back will always
Yeah.
have a gun from this side of Chemin Esports, because they know there might be a team nearby who might try to go in for a backstab.
Yeah.
And Kaushik is a man you can rely on for that rotations, because he gives the proper cover for his team, and when it comes to the solo man standing, he will be able to get a booyah for his team. At the same time, as we look on to Evil, he's at a very close proximity to a player of Raven Esports. He spots him, he comes back, he tells his team there's a team nearby, there's a player nearby, come, let's regroup and try to go in towards the push onto Prasanna. Prasanna just holding it out, and right now running low on supplies. And as we look on to level 2 helmet and vest with him, he looks a bit promising, but Beam does not have an helmet on. One shot is going to get knocked out, and finish coming in from the side of Raven Esports might be something we'll be seeing in the next few seconds.
You know, take a look over to the movement of Team Evil Army. They are looking like they want those kills on Team Raven Esports, whereas Ajit was one of the guys really far away from the team. He could have been one of the key players in this fight if he could have stayed away from his team, but now he just wants to unite, because there are no healings available, there are no much of guns available, or not much of loot. Even if there was the tier 3 loot, they haven't looted much on their drop. Whereas if we talk about Team Nemesis, they are looting up on the clock tower, and yes, no team is here to judge them or to have a fight with them initially. Well, right now we can see Man Patel, and we have an angle on him. Level 2 vest, level 2 helmet, and yes, he is just looting all the loot that he can get for his team. Meanwhile, we can also see that only 5 seconds are left. Now the players will be thinking about the zone 2 as we touch that 5-minute and 40-second mark, and there we go. Evil Army going for the frag on Prasanna and getting a lot of damage. Prasanna down to 129 HP, and there goes Evil down with the help of M1887. This is the first frag that Team Raven Esports have got on Team Evil Army. There we go, Sai Shankar on the frag on Evil Army. Now they have got 2 frags that they needed. Okay, Black Tiger with a good trade on Ajit, and Ajit goes down on his knees. Ajit will be confirmed, but there comes a good trade from Sai Shankar as he'll be taking down Black Tiger, and Evil Army will be eliminated, but with a damage on Ajit.
At the cost of losing Ajit, Raven Esports getting 3 kills in the name. Shai Shankar holding an off angle, had the advantage, just holding it right there. He had an advantage just to stay that off, to just stay and hold that off angle and get the skills executed. As we look on to the point standings of the last match, of the match number 2, we have AFF Esports at the first place with 32, Raven at the second with 27, Evil Army at the third with 25, TSM FTX at the fourth with 23, and I think somewhere it was Evil Army, AFF Esports that got the booyah, right? Yeah, AFF Esports got the booyah and 32 points at the top itself. And as we talk about Team D Esports finishing off for the 7th with 14, Desi Gamers have kept up the consistency and right now are at the 5th position with 22. They are always gonna try and make themselves stay in the top 5. And as we look on to teams like Total Gaming and PVS finishing off at the bottom, it's going to make them a bit vulnerable. Let's say this is the game, if they are able to do it, something in the game. As we look on to the MVP of the previous game, Evil Army, Evil, and at the same time, Total Gaming, 2 players knocked out, Nemesis, 1 player knocked out. A fight has happened right now out in the open. Nemesis, Mr. Gamer, is needing that revive at the same time. Total Gaming coming in from the back, a knock trying to take him from the vehicle, trying to take him down from the vehicle is going to Mafia. Mafia gets a knock onto the side of Team Nemesis. The last player standing for Total Gaming is going to be who is it? Fazia? Yes, Fazia out with the bike, out in the open, getting spotted on by the side of Nemesis Mind Gamer.
You know, he wants to run out from this fight, and yes, he is going for that save of his guns, and even also he just wants to fall back and just go for a passive gameplay to get some position points. As Team Nemesis, they've got 3 free frags in the open. They were just going for a rotation on towards the peak. They wanted to hold a position on the peak, but out of no chance they got Team Total Gaming out in the open, just holding the ridges, and kind of they had that advantage, but still they were not able to spot. And now we have TSM FTX after Total Gaming. 3 players got wiped out. Fabindro comes in out of nowhere and gets a frag on Mr. Gamer, just completes him down. And there's the first frag, but Mr. J with a good knock on Mind Gamer, and also he confirms that knock. Mr. J, Pavan with a good nade. Okay, on the left side they have AFF Esports, on the right side they have TSM FTX, and TSM FTX is doing the damage on AFF Esports too, as Kanish gets a knock on Man Patel. Pavan gets a knock on Old Monk with the help of AWM. Kanish confirms his kill on Nemesis Man Patel.
As we look on to Pavan coming in for the right backup as a disguise for Nemesis Gaming. At the same time, there's another team, that's Ametron from TSM FTX, making sure that he's coming in from the back. Fabindra goes in for a nade that was trying to be cooked. He was trying to cook that nade, exploded midair, and that does not give him the advantage, but at the same time revealing his location. AFF Esports have decided to fall back from the fight and not engage in the fight, but at the same time there's last player standing for Nemesis somewhere out in the open, somewhere in the between of all the skirmishes, and I am unable to spot him. That's going to be Uzef. Yes, Uzef is just going to hold it out in the open, and there's one more team closing in from the back. That's going to be team number 9. PVS Gaming coming into action, takes down a player from TSM FTX. A beautiful nade coming in. Fabindra gets spotted out in the open. At the same time, PVS UK has been knocked out. A trade coming in from the side of TSM FTX. Old Monk wants to go in for the push with the cruiser in his hand, but he'll hold back for the moment because his teammate is far from him.
You know what? These are the fights that are just going on and on this peak area, whereas Uzef is going to be the last guy surviving from his
Slithering
team.
snake.
Yeah, slithering snake, just proning down behind that glue ball and just waiting for the enemy team to come in. Okay, it's not the glue wall. I think it's the rock,
it's
but
a rock,
yeah, okay, it's a different formation if I look about it. And yes, now we take a look on Team TSM. Yeah,
it's a part of a ruin that's just formed up in front of him. Uzef just gonna hold it out there. He's not gonna give any sound, and Fabindro might fall a victim to that, but he has to be really careful because Uzef might reveal his location in the next few seconds and trying to take a kill onto the side of TSM FTX. Fabindro, he's just holding it out. He has to watch out for Mr. J coming in from the back, and the way he has positioned himself, it's almost like a camouflage for him. Fabindro knows that there's a player somewhere nearby. Oh my god, he does not spot him, and at the same time gets tagged from the back, and I think Uzef has finally given away his location. And that's an end to the side of Nemesis Gaming, with the danger zone being formed on the top of Team TSM FTX.
You know, you can just give a single M101 for shot from the help on Fabindro, whereas Fabindro just dives in on you with the help of M1887 and gets 2 shots on the head, and you're wiped out of this game. And yes, now at the 11th position, Team Nemesis have taken out themselves, are eliminated, whereas Total Gaming Fozia J went on a ride on peak, and after that he's on towards Riverside, just waiting on the edge of the zone so that each and every team fights and he'll enter after each and everything is done. Whereas we have an angle on PVS Gaming and TSM FTX at the perfect moment. Team AFF Esports decided to get some frags. Well, they haven't got even their single man down out of the game, and yes, now they are at the middle of the zone.
As we talk about the zone being formed right now, the second zone being formed at peak, almost entering peak. Well, the team like AFF Esports, Team D Esports, TSM FTX, PVS Esports, Desi Gamers and UG Mania will be having the advantage. Teams like Chemin Esports will make their way in towards Kota Tua, and at the same time, as we look on towards the fight that's about to happen between Team AFF Esports and Team D Esports, they know that there's a team closing in, and AFF Esports might have knows that there's a team at a close proximity. Roshan goes in for a nade and is able to get a knock onto Kanesh. He's gonna cook in another nade and trying to get a finish onto him, and yes, he's able to finish off AFF Kanesh, and the push might come in from the side of Team D Esports. As we look on to Team D Esports, AFF Mafia has been knocked out, Rahil has been knocked out, 2 players running out in the open, 2 players finished off, the last player standing for AFF Esports, just holding us out in the location, and that's going to be a full slaughter coming in from the side of Team D Esports and finishing off Pavan without getting any damage. That's almost up to say that Team D Esports is gonna stay alive, is gonna take down the entire squads and make it through. Might try to go in for that booyah in this game.
Well, there was a lot of at stake for Team AFF Esports as they were the winners from the previous match, and now Team D Esports such a clean wipe on them, not even having a single bullet damage on Team D Esports. Whereas now we have an angle on Ignite, just proning down and holding his position as Ashustar spots him down and will get that kill confirmation. Chemin Esports, I was just thinking about that. might be, he might get spotted, and there he gets spotted by Ashistar. Shanti on a very low HP. Ashistar is going with his M104 as Aimgon gets a knock with the help of M1887 and confirms the kill for Team Chemin Esports. Now it's a 2 versus 4 fight against Team Chemin Esports as Ignite and Harsh are trying to go back, whereas Ignite and Harsh, okay, 5 HP, and there he goes down by the help of PVS Gaming coming into the fight, and yes, he'll get that kill. PVS Gaming are up to some amazing third parties.
As we look on to Chemin Esports with all the 4 players standing, Yogi comes in for the push. At the same time, they have to watch out for Ignite, who's just going to hold it back there, and he knows that there's a fight happening between PVS and Chemin Esports in front of them, and if he sees a knock in front of him, he's going to execute those kills. At the same time, PVS Eco Boy getting knocked out, and that's a nade coming in from the side of PVS Gaming. Adam has a good advantage. Adam has a good angle. He's just going to hold it out. Eco Boy gets the revive that he needs from the side of Nobita. Nobita going in for that push onto the side of Chemin Esports. A nade being cooked in from the side of Yogi might do a damage towards the side of Chemin Esports. No, but at the same time, PVS Lavapa has been knocked and finished off. AimGod FF has been knocked out. Chemin Esports Ashistar has been knocked out. The last 2 players standing is going to be Adam and Kaushik. Eco, the last player standing for his team, is going to go in for the push onto the side of Chemin Esports, but eventually gets taken down, and that's going to be the end for PVS Gaming. And Chemin Esports loses a player, but able to get the 4 kills onto Team PVS Gaming. And right now, the last player standing for that's the last player from
Desi
Team number 6. Desi Gamers just holding it. Ignite just holding it out. He might have come in for the push and had the advantage, but no, he just wanted to hold it out at the same time. Chaos Scary comes in, takes a knock onto Java Boy. Scary is going to be a lone man standing for his team and trying to get a knock with the nades in his hand.
Okay, yeah, Team Chaos Scary is going to the last place surviving from Team Chaos, whereas the grenade goes in but won't deal a lot of damage. Scary with a lot of 3 to 4 grenades. Okay, Java Boy gets spotted down, but there goes a rush, and Java Boy will get that kill, just holding that position, whereas the 3 players rushed to get that kill. Java Boy just on that angle, getting the last kill on Team Chaos, and Team Chaos getting wiped out at the 8th position. Whereas we saw the fight of Team PVS Gaming and Chemin Esports, it was about Team Chemin Esports and Desi Gamers, and out of nowhere PVS Gaming entered that we want to fight, and now they'll face the repercussions for that.
The last 7 teams remaining, with zone about to be closed in the next 37 seconds. As we look onto the zone, that zone number 4 that have formed up in front of us, in front of our screens, we have team like TSM FTX having the advantage of the zone with 3 men standing. Team D Esports with all the 4 players standing is gonna gatekeep Total Gaming from coming into the zone. Mania eventually will be finding themselves facing off against Fozzy Ajay from Team Total Gaming. The last player standing for Total Gaming will be able to get his team towards the top 5. We'll know it for sure, as Desi Gamers Ignite is also a solo man standing for his team. He has to make it towards the zone. Chemin Esports eventually has started making their way, and at the same time Raven Esports has made the way inside the zone. Fozzy Ajay is gonna stay it out there. Golden comes in with a nade, and that nade is gonna give a damage to him. A glue wall being popped up from the side of Fozzy Ajay, and it's almost a finish for him. It's almost an end for Total Gaming. Another glue wall being popped up. Golden knows that at a close proximity he might use that. He might go in for that. He's gonna take down the entire squad, and that's the end for Team Total Gaming.
Yeah, definitely spotted down by Team UG Mania, and they'll be killed. But there comes D Esports, that if you're trying to enter the zone, we are already guarding the zone for you, and you cannot enter so easily, whereas they got a kill on Team Total Gaming. Total Gaming getting wiped out on the 7th position, and now they have to fight against Team D Esports. They already have got 4 kills on an enemy team, and now they're looking for some more kills, as Golden gets a knock on Roshan from the down ground over to the up ground. That was a clean shot from the side of Golden, and now Shino looking for some frags. Okay, he hits he lands 2 shots behind the wall. Oh my god, 3 shots behind the glue wall, and he'll be getting a knock on UG Java Boy.
And at the same time, Golden has to watch out for Shino, because he's the man who will be able to take down. He will be able to dissect him. At the same time, he's able to land some shots onto the side of Shino, and UG Mina gets that revive that they need for all the 4 players back to the full HP, and Shino getting spotted out in the open. 63 HP left, and the backup comes in from the side of Team Esports, but Golden is a man you have to watch out for. As Roshan gets knocked out, the revive comes in from the side of RNSS, but they have to watch out for Raven Esports, who's coming from the back. UG Mina Kunal tried to go in for a close range fight. Shino gets traded off. UG Mina Prince is gonna give him that, gonna give Kunal the revive that he needs, but at the same time Shino getting taken off. That's gonna give them the opening that they need. Roshan getting spotted off out in the open. Prince is gonna go for the push and try to take down the entire squad of Team Esports. That's going to be an opportunity being placed in front of them. Golden getting traded off by the side of RNSS. Golden gets that revive that he needs. Did Golden get that revive? No, he's very much out in the open, and that that might be very vulnerable for the side of UG Mania.
Well, he has done his work as UG Mania now engaged Team D Esports because UG Mania were allowed to climb on this mountain, and now it's an equal fight. It's a 3 vs 3 fight going on, whereas one player gets down and Team D
Oh my
Esports
goodness.
eliminated UG Mania. They made it possible because of a
Sacrifice there.
a sacrifice of Golden 18. Well, he has been wiped out, but Team UG Mania, they'll survive for the next zone. But with 9 kills now, they have to enter the zone as Desi Gamers getting eliminated. Ignite spotted by TSM FTX, and this, they will do the job. And Desi Gamers will get eliminated on the 5th position, whereas TSM
My.
now has to engage against Chemin Esports. It's a 2 vs 4 fight, and Kaushik, the grenade man, the grenade launcher man, goes for the kill, goes for the knock, and now he's trying to take a knock on Mr. J.
Mr. Jai has to watch out for Raven Esports just in front of him. At the same time, Kaushik trying to get that angle onto him. TSM entity Old Monk TSM FTX Old Monk has been knocked out at this moment, but by a beautiful grenade launcher coming from the side of Chemin Esports. And the last player standing for TSM FTX trying to make it towards the zone is going to be Mr. Jai, getting spotted off. A beautiful grenade being cooked off by Kaushik, but does no damage onto the side of Mr. Jai. Mr. Jai goes in with the shotgun in his hand, gets a knock onto the side of Kaushik. The last 2 players standing for Chemin Esports have to really watch out for Mr. Jai as he's able to trying to dissect to the side of Chemin Esports. He goes in for the kill, able to execute it, gets Kaushik down on his knees, and at the same time the last 2 players standing is able to execute it. But no, it's Raven Esports coming in from the back and taking now the last player standing for Team TSM FTX. The last 3 squads standing in front of us will be Team Chemin Esports, Raven Esports, and none other than Desi Gamers.
Oh, okay. It's not Desi Gamers, it's Team UG Mania.
Sorry.
It's UG Mania, Raven Esports, and Chemin Esports, whereas Chemin Esports, they have to face the zone damage and also the damage from UG Mania as they enter the zone, and now they have the zone advantage too. Well, all the 3 teams, they don't have the zone advantage, as now, after this zone, we are going to focus on the dead zone. All the 3 teams inside the zone, now they're fighting with each other as Ashistar gets a lot of damage. Adam is here with the grenade launcher cooking the grenades. Java Boy gets a kill confirmation on Prasanna, and UG Java Boy with the triple kill. Prince already having 5 kills in the hand, and UG Mania, they are unstoppable with having 10 kills, and now the next zone is going to close in 10 seconds.
Java Boy is just gonna wait it out there. At the same time, Raven Esports, Sai Shankar able to take down the player from Chemin Esports. That's Ashistar paying the price for going on for the push. At the same time, Adam comes in from the backup. Sai Shankar getting knocked out from the zone, but have been eliminated by a beautiful grenade coming in from the side of Deadshot. Kunal Jr. comes in from the back, takes down the player. Sai Shankar has been knocked out. Last player standing for Raven Esports. Deadshot getting taken out. That's a beautiful booyah coming for the side of Team UG Mania.
Yeah, definitely done and dusted for Team UG Mania, as in the end zone, they were the kings. Literally, they were the kings. Even if they were outside the zone, they managed it to come inside, and with a sacrifice of Golden, and there we go. They have the booyah in their hands of the 3rd map for the day. That is going to be Bermuda.
Well-deserved booyah coming in for the side of Team UG Mania. 3 teams, 3 matches, all booyahs have been taken by different teams, so that comes up to say that every team is upping their game, and every team's the strategy and the overall standings is changing with every passing match. But at the end of the day, we'll know that which team will stand on the top, because the team that stands on the top will make sure that they hold that position in day 2 and day 3 also, because it's a do or die situation for this 12 teams, because if they don't make it towards the top 6, they will also be taking farewell and leaving the match, and somewhere they will be taking home something with them, 25,000, and but still they will be a bit dissatisfied, a bit unhappy, because they made it so far. They tried to play again and again, and yes,
you know, you get one more chance and still you can't qualify. Well, that's a big backlash. But still, right now we are done with only 3 matches and we are left with 15 matches for these wildcards. Now, before that, as we just saw, Team UG Mania got a booyah for themselves with a lot of kills. That means 10 plus kills, and that was an aggressive gameplay from their side. Not from the start, but that was required from the team. In the end, when they were only having 8 kills or around 9 kills, they wanted to enter the zone at any cost. They just wanted to eliminate the teams coming in their front.
I really like how they dissected to Team D Esports. They knew that there was Golden who was knocked out, and I thought that somewhere UG Mania, the old UG Mania that we saw in league stages, would try to fall back and go in for that revive of Golden. But I think Golden said that no, you guys go in front, take the battle against Team D Esports, because they are very vulnerable at this moment. I might give my life, but I'll guide you to the end. I'll make sure that we get that booyah in this name, and UG Mania deserve that well booyah. But at the same time, let's look on to team like I think there was a team that was fighting it off at the ridge. That was PVS Gaming, PVS, and at the same time
Esports,
PVS, Chemin, and
TSM.
there was
gaming.
there was a single player standing from Desi Gamers also that
Yeah.
was insane. Ignite just
Ignite.
holding it out.
Yeah.
Ignite wasn't able to execute that kill and eventually gets taken down. But it's time to look at the people's nominees of the TA. The 3 nominees, the best players who played it out in the last 3 matches is on your screens right now. All
Yeah.
you need to go is all you need to do is go to the chat section and vote for your favorite player. And your nominees are Ignite, Prince XSG from UG Mania, and
Yeah.
Sai Shankar from Raven Esports.
Yes, these are the 3 players you need to vote out for. And after we come from the break, we'll be looking forward to the results of these 3 players, that is Ignite, Prince, and Sai Shankar.
But at the same time, let's look on to the fan favorite. So it's going to be either, by the gameplay, I think it's either going to be Ignite
Yeah.
or Shai. I can't actually say anything because all the 3 players have been up the game,
Yeah.
and different gameplay coming from all the team players. But somewhere I think it's going
Yeah.
to be someone from UG Mania.
Yeah, definitely. These 3 players, they've performed their literal best for the teams, and they have got that power that they can make into the game. But you need to take a look on Golden too. He was kind of an MVP for me because still, even if UG Mania they got that Booyah, there was a big part of Golden. Golden getting those snipes from the lower ground. You cannot handle the up from the lower ground, and if you're getting shots on the upper ground, you need to take your crosshair 2 upwards and get those knocks, and he managed to do that and also had a sacrifice.
TSM FTX again happy with the performance, finishing off
Yeah.
with the 3rd place.
Yeah.
It's going to be again bouncing on the top of the
Yeah.
board and somewhere keeping themselves in the top 5. But let's see how it goes on for them. But at the same time, as we talk about teams like AFF Esports, a good opening came in from the side of UG Mania. A nade coming in, taking down a player from
Yeah.
AFF Esports. That gave an opening. They just went in and was able to execute all the 4 players. So that's a game coming, a good gameplay coming from UG Mania. I hope that they keep this up. But it's time for a short break. We'll come back in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere.
Staying connected is now more important than ever, and 5G strengthens those connections. Qualcomm's 5G leadership is supporting virtual ways of learning, even in remote areas. You'll see our 5G leadership powering always connected mobile PCs, and wherever multiplayer gaming is connecting more friends in real time. At Qualcomm, we remain focused on transforming industries, creating jobs, and supporting the economy. The invention age is here. At Qualcomm, we invented the breakthroughs that made 5G possible. That means you'll see our 5G leadership transforming industries like agriculture. The invention age is here, and it's about to change everything.
You deserve a mobile PC that's as connected as your smartphone, with battery life that can last for days. That's why your device deserves the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform.
Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, strut!
Count 1, 2, 3, strut!
It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job. It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job. Wanna step into the party and job. It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job.
You deserve the freedom to immerse yourself in other worlds and explore new realities. That's why your device deserves the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform. You deserve multiplayer games that respond at the speed of 5G. That's why your device deserves the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform. You deserve a camera that delivers professional image quality in any lighting condition. That's why your device deserves the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform. What's inside your mobile device matters.
早安，能量。你的建议书做得真好。
I'm so glad to hear it.
It's why the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform matters. Because you deserve the freedom to immerse yourself in virtual worlds and explore new realities. You deserve an intelligent camera that delivers professional image quality in any lighting condition. And a mobile PC that's as connected as your smartphone with battery life that can last for days. You deserve multiplayer games that respond at the speed of 5G.
谢谢 Daniel。
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And you deserve the ability to stream crisp, high-resolution videos in more places anytime with 5G. You deserve all the best 5G experiences. That's why your devices deserve the Qualcomm Snapdragon platform.
It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job. It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job. Wanna step into the party and job. It's just another fact of life for me, really. People wanna step into the party and job.
The action is not yet over. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series, where 12 teams fight along with each other in the wildcard stages. Joining me as my co-caster is going to be Cape, as we look forward to the last 3 matches for the day.
Well, what an exciting turn of events it has been. If you're joining us right now, do not forget to hit that like, share and subscribe button on the Snapdragon Conquest pages, and also follow the Instagram handles, social handles of the Snapdragon Conquest page. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter at the same time, where you get all the timely updates. You will know for sure like where to, like if I get any doubts about who is on the team, or who is right now holding the maximum number of points, or which teams have qualified for the finals, I just go to the Instagram socials and look it up, because you get all the timely updates there. And let's talk about the phones that are kept in front of us. It's none other than the Poco X3 coming into play.
Yeah, definitely. The Poco X3 Pro chipped up with a Snapdragon 860 processor and also the 120Hz display. So yes, long hours of gaming with the 33-watt fast charger and 5000 mAh plus battery.
5000 mAh plus battery, and what more than that do you need? You have 5G also coming in with it, and a liquid technology, liquid cooling. Your phone will never get heated when you have a liquid cooling phone, and I think that's endless hours of gaming coming from a side, because I'll just plug it in, I'll just put on my headphones and just play for hours and hours. A game like Free Fire, obviously, if you caught me and Arka slipping off in the day 1, I think it was
week 3, day 2.
Day 1, week 3, where we were just playing it out and we didn't notice that we were live. So that much how engrossed we got it with the phone, and it's very much fun to play, and I'm sure you like to get your hands on it. And it's below 20k, that fits your budget right now, and you could find it exclusively on Flipkart right now. It's available in the markets. You can get your hands on, I think, on some of the Poco exclusive stores. You can go there and try your hands out at the same time.
Definitely, Poco phone is one of the phones that you need to look out for, and
we have the promo coming up on the screen.
You
can just look at the promo, and you can convince your parents easily about looking at the phones. You know how exciting it is for you. You can see the frame rates, the high FPS coming in, 860 processor, as he said once again. So this is all happening because of the chipsets that are being kept up day by day. Modern chipsets coming in, faster chipsets coming in. I think that right now it's going to be the 888
888
is the fastest, I guess. But looking at the screen, crisp displays and what more, 5 cameras, 48 megapixel cameras coming in, and Pro display with 120 hertz, 5 cameras as in four on the back and 1 in front, so you have 5 cameras at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. And also the Pro Endurance, the Pro Fast Speeds because of the 5G that you just talked about. So yes, 5G is one of the technologies that you always need to look for the smartphones because 5G is the future and Poco X3 Pro is ready for that.
19, and that's almost 19K. 19K exclusively on Flipkart. You can go and get your hands up at the same time. And also, there's one more thing that I just missed it out. I think it was the fast charging 2-day standby coming in. 2-day battery backup standby. What more do you need? Like if you just need a hand on a phone that gives you so much backup. But it's time to look at the performance. Performance of all the teams right now of the match number 3. Where we look onto the games, where we look onto the sides of UG Mania with 12 kills, 6,235 damage coming from the side.
You know, just domination in this match, and they deserve this, Booyah. Look at the damage. They are no more close to Team D Esports, which is like having a damage of 4,996, and behind them is Chemin Esports. They were eliminated back then at the 7th position, but they were so much engaged in the middle phase of the game that they got a damage of around 3,500.
7 kills for Chemin Esports in the 7th position.
Oh, sorry for that.
And as we look on to Raven Esports, they also have 6 kills. But at the same time, as we talk about Team D Esports and Raven Esports, with the number of damage that they have dealt, Raven Esports were able to get more number of kills. And we talk about Team Chaos, Total Gaming, and I think those two finished off early without any kills in the name. So Total Gaming is looking a bit weak at the same time, but PVS was able to do some damages and they were able to get 2 kills in the name. As look on to Nemesis, 3 kills again. Now it's time to look on to the matchup for the next game. Again, the same squads popping up on our screen.
Yes, these are going to the 12 squads for the rest of the 2 days after this day ends. Yes, we have Team PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Team Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, and Evil Army on the first part of these teams, and now we dive into the other 6 teams who are going to play in this matchup of Kalahari. We have Team Total Gaming, TSM FTX, Team Chaos, AFF Esports, Team Nemesis, and Raven Esports.
Well, I think it's going to be the time for teams like Team Chaos or Nemesis or Raven Esports. Nemesis did get a booyah in the first match. I think the first match Nemesis got it, the second match AFF got it, and the third match it was UG Mania. So these teams have been able to put up a good fight, and now it's time for teams like Raven Esports to come up to the top if they are able to do it or not. When it comes against the other squads, I think Total Gaming, PVS Gaming still have potential to come in, but it's time to look up into the caster predictions coming in from the Hindi desk, Telugu desk, Tamil desk, and again from the English desk 4 desk, opting in for the caster prediction. Let's see whose predictions goes right, because I think somewhere in the last games Hindi desk had an advantage, Tamil desk also had an advantage, but this time looking at the English desk, I'm gonna opt in for Team D Esports. Joining with me is going to be T18 Gaming and DK Official from the Telugu desk.
Oh my god, right now the highest number of chosen votes and teams will be for Team D Esports, whereas we have Total Gaming from the side of World Loop. Also, I chose Team Desi Gamers, whereas PVS Gaming by Oro and Raven Esports by the side of Monish Nayak. You know, one of the reasons I chose Team Desi Gamers is their position at the refinery. We have been seeing the zone at the refinery on the Kalahari map throughout the week 3, and Desi Gamers were one of the teams who were able to hold the zone on the Kalahari map near the refinery. Whereas we also can have an angle on PVS Gaming. PVS Gaming, they also got a boy on Kalahari because of their positioning near about the Kalahari, near about the refinery ground.
Well, if we talk about Team D Esports in the second week, they have been able to take a different rotation. They took the drop location of refinery. They were holding it out there. They were just going in for that fight against the Kings, but not against 4 Unknown. Whenever they were not when 4 Unknown wasn't in the play, they took that drop location of refinery and was able to execute it against all the squads that were kept in front of them and get booyah. So this time it's an advantage for them to go in for that push. But let's look at the results of the last segment. That was the people nominees choice, and we have DG Ignite. Whoa, that's something different coming up. 66%. UG Prince at the second place with 26%, and Shai Shankar at the third with 8%.
Well, yes, 66% votes for Desi Gamers Ignite. Well, I'm kind of not surprised because he's one of the guys. He's one of the guys with Insane, who is who has always been performing really good for his team, and Ignite was the last survivor from his team, taking 3 positions up for Team Desi Gamers.
Well, so he always plays for position when it comes to Desi
Yeah,
Gamers, and Desi Gamers
exactly.
keeping up the consistency. It's time for them to perform in this match, either to get the booyah, and TSM FTX just missing out on the booyah, like at the 3rd place or the 2nd place.
Yeah.
This might be the match that might turn their fates and get a booyah in the name, but still, they will be at the top 5 when it comes to the overall leaderboard. And it's time to look at the fight part. The team joining us once again for this match. It's Kalahari coming in. Chemin Esports, Nemesis, Raven Esports, Desi Gamers, TSM FTX, UG Mania, PVS Gaming, Team D Esports, Total Gaming, Team Chaos, and Evil Army will be the teams joining us for the wildcard day 1 match 4, and it's flying over the path of Kalahari right now. I think this is going to be dissecting as we look onto the flight path in the next few seconds. No, it's very much going towards Maze, Mammoth, and finishing off. It's a southern plain path. Looking at it, I think it's going to be a southwestern. I think we'll know it for sure. Yes, it's a southwestern plain path, and places like Oldhampton Shrines, Council Hall, Confinement will be a bit difficult to access. At the same time, Santa Catrina, always the drop location of Team Total Gaming. They have taken that early drop. No, they have not taken the drop yet. They will take the drop. And Command Post right now being opted in by Team Evil Army. And I want to see Team D Esports going in for a different location. The cluster at right now forming on the sub, Command Post, and Stone Ridge is something you have to watch out for.
Definitely right now taking a angle on Team AFF Esports. They have dropped onto the refinery drop. Meanwhile, Team Chaos choosing the blue tier loot of the Bayfront. Chemin Esports going towards the shrines, and just behind them on a single compound is going to be Team D Esports. So yes, there's a cluster on the north, and whereas on the opposite end there's a cluster on the south western side or southeastern side. And now we have an initial fight of Team Total Gaming going against Team UG Mania, the winners of the previous match, the Booyah getting team of the previous match, now engaging against Team Total Gaming. Total Gaming, well, we know that they look out for some initial fights, but they are not they are not having some initial fights very well put it up for them. And meanwhile, Team UG Mania, they also decide that they need to go towards the left hand side, because they know that on the Santa Catrina there is going to be a team named as Total Gaming.
Well, as we look on to UG Mania, they have decided to fall back, but at the same time it's going to be Team Chaos versus Team D Esports again at the side of Bayfront. As we look on to Team Chaos, Vivek has spotted, he knows that there's a team in front of them and decides to fall back. At the same time, DQ gets knocked out and almost to be finished off, but it's going to be Scary who's going to be damaged at this moment. A trade fire coming in from the side of Team D Esports. As we look on to RNSS, Vivek has to try to go in for that knock. At the same time, look at a very vulnerable position. It's going to be Team D Esports. Shinu gets that revive which he needs. They have to be really careful of Team Chaos, because Team Chaos was able to take down 2 of their players, but at the same time Team D Esports came in from the back and was able to take down 3 players. The last player standing in the last match of Kalahari was Tech KK. This time it's going to be Amitwala who's going to give them the cover that they need with the SKS in his hand. Shinu with an AUG. Roshan and RNSS is going to stack up back with whatever they can, and then engage in that fight against Team Chaos.
Well, right now having an angle on Shinu getting a lot of damage on himself. Well, he will be healing himself. As Scary, he just made Vivek survive. That was a perfect point of time when he got a knock on one of the players from Team D Esports, and that definitely helped him. Now, having an angle on Team Chaos, they are just waiting on the city as Team D Esports are looking to exit the city of Bayfront. Well, these are the point standings of the previous match, whereas UG Mania got that Booyah, and that too with 12 massive kills. Just behind them is going to be Team Raven Esports with 29 points, and having a tie with them is going to be Chemin Esports. So Chemin Esports performing throughout the map number 1, 2, and 3 and getting these amazing points for themselves. And Chemin Esports, well, they have to have some good kills too.
As we talk about Team D Esports, they have decided to drop back and not take that fight, and that's a good decision coming from the side, because losing players in the beginning itself is gonna cost themselves a lot. As we look onto the MVP of the previous match, it's none other than Prince XSG coming into play. 5 kills in his name, 1,657 damage, and one assist coming in. 11 kills was in the name. I think somewhere 11 kills they had. 44 points or 42 points? 44, right? 44. If it was 44. If it was 44, then 5 kills executed by him and the rest 7 kills being executed by his teammates. So UG Mania was at a killing spree in the last match, but let's see if they are able to execute the same thing in this match when it comes to the map of Kalahari. As we talk about Kunal Jr. going it out, farming and right now at the positions, and AFF Esports just gonna hold the location at Refinery. Spots of Chemin Esports in front of them, trying to take down Aim God FF. A beautiful tag comes in, a lead being poured out from the side of Mafia. Mafia knows that there's a squad in front, calls his team for this backup that it needs. At the same time, it's going to be Team AFF Esports that have decided, a Team Aim God that's going to be Chemin Esports who have decided to fall back and not engage in the fight. Aim God FF gets spotted out in the open. That's going to be Mafia coming in with an AK and gets that finish onto him. First blood being executed at almost 4 minutes into the match. That's almost a late start, so that comes up to stay that no squads want to engage in that early skirmishes. The first zone being about to form in the next 6 seconds.
You know, Evil Army is not present here. Desi Gamers is not present here. So AFF Esports, they have acquired the drop of Refinery as Amit Walia gets a knock on the player of Team Chaos. Now they have got one of the kills that they wanted, and right now they'll be just holding on the council hall. As soon as they got that kill, they were just chasing down that player, and they'll be succeeding in that point of view. Meanwhile, on the council hall, they have some amount of zone near them, but Evil Army is right now going to engage against Chemin Esports as they just got saved from the team on Refinery. So yes, these are the fights just going on, and yes, Chemin Esports now holding that compound. They do know that they have 2 squads to fight against to have a good position inside the center circle. Meanwhile, they have got one player out of the game, that is going to be Aim God, completed by the hands of AFF Esports. And yes, there we go, the zone shifting towards the western side. And yes, Desi Gamers, Team Nemesis, even from the southern side, PVS Gaming and TSM FTX, they need to go upwards in the zone because the next zone might come around the bayfront.
5 squads at a very close proximity to each other. It's going to be AFF Esports, Chemin Esports, Evil Army, Team Total Gaming and Raven Esports. Eventually, I think the zone is going to be a concentric zone somewhere forming between Bayfront, Refinery and Santa Catarina.
Exactly.
But let's see how it moves out for them. But as we look on to these teams like Total Gaming holding it at command post right now, just in front of them is Raven Esports. They know there's a squad in front of them. The push might come in from the side of Total Gaming. With a danger zone being found in front of them, they do not want to go out in the open. Mafia Bala just waiting it out in the towers. He knows that someone from Raven Esports will come out into the open. At the same time, delayed spots on a player in front of him trying to go in for the knock. Chrono Sheets being popped up at the right moment. Ajit getting knocked out. Delayed getting knocked out. A beautiful trade coming in from the side of Team Total Gaming. A glue wall being popped up is going to give the advantage towards the side of Team Total Gaming. Ajay goes in for that finish and makes sure that one of the players from Raven Esports is taken down. As we look on to a nade being popped up, there's another squad coming in from the back. Raven Esports trying to dissect towards the side of Team Total Gaming, but at the same time, Chemin Esports are right now dissecting, the kill leaders, trying to take down the BFM, Black Tiger from the side of, that's Evil Army, yes?
Yeah,
Evil Army. Chemin Esports dissecting them again and again.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Chemin Esports, they have also got 3 kills in their hands, and now they need to have an angle on team number 4 too. They are getting kills on Evil Army, but Yogi comes upon Team PVS Gaming, and yes, there is a fight between TSM FTX and Team PVS Gaming engaging between themselves after getting out of the sub. And now there goes a grenade. Oh, that grenade. Yogi will get that kill confirmation. And now Mr. Jay and Fabindro are looking to go out of this position, but they might not get that position out of this position. Oh, sorry for that. And yes, definitely Mr. J getting a damage of 152 with that grenade. There goes the second grenade, but yes, he'll spot him down with the help of M249. And now he has to go for the last kill on TSM. I think so, it's Amidron. Oh no, it's Fabindro surviving from the team, and he's running with his kite for his life as he knows he's the last player from the team. Okay, Fabindro is also knocked out, so there is a player still surviving from TSM. And yes, definitely PVS will be confirming their kills on TSM FTX, and Nobita gets the last kill on Fabindro. Now they have already confirmed 3 players of Team TSM, but Eco is going to be sacrificed from the team as Amidron enters the zone from the side of Stone Ridge.
Last player standing for his team, Amidron. All 12 teams still standing. That comes up to say that every team has a solo player standing, or all the 4 players standing. As we look on to Team AFF Esports, right now holding on to the location. They have come in from the back, and it's Raven Esports who have lost one of the players with the fight against Team Total Gaming. So Raven Esports have to be really careful, because when it comes to AFF Esports, once they start going in for that push, they will never stop. As we talk about the zone, it's a concentric zone coming in. The second zone been found up. 35 seconds for the zone to close in. We have have Team D Esports making their way into the zone. We have Nemesis almost making their way into the zone. Desi Gamers and PVS will be the teams that are outside the zone right now. Rest, I think, all of these teams are inside the zone. AFF Esports, Raven Esports and Team Total Gaming are the ones we have to watch out for, as Command Post is being contested by 3 of these teams. And Evil Army, last player standing, is going to be TH Evil. Very much out in the open, just holding a compound right there. Might be a victim of Team Chaos, Team UG Mania and Team Chemin Esports, but he's just gonna hold it out there and try to play for the placement points.
The zone predictions landing right at the moment between the Santa Catarina Bayfront and the Refinery Drop. Whereas Team TSM, we talked about Team TSM, Desi Gamers and PVS Gaming, that they need to go for the next position as soon as possible. But even after that, we can have an angle on Team Chemin Esports fighting along with Team Total Gaming as Mafia Bala gets a knock on Chemin Esports Adam, and now only 2 players will be there from Team Chemin Esports. Meanwhile, Mafia Bala is now engaging his team, is now allowing his team to go for a rush on Team Chemin Esports. Meanwhile, we can also have an angle on Team D Esports and Team Chaos having a fight between each other. Vivek is getting a lot of damage from Team D Esports. Meanwhile, the next zone is also going to close in and the blue tier loot is over. Now you just have to stay at your positions and get the most out of it. Meanwhile, okay, AFF Mafia out of nowhere, he's the lone survivor from his team in that house. Well, he has the 3 teammates on the other house, but he's going to stay here in this house, in the hub of Team Raven Esports. Meanwhile, 4 teams at this position at the command post, and they're going to fight with each other for the rest of the 3 zones, because the rest of the 3 zones are going to come around the command post. Meanwhile, the next zone is also going to close in, and Mafia is just holding his position against Team Raven Esports.
As we look on to the third zone being formed in the next few seconds, I think it's going to be again favoring command post somewhere. Desi Gamers are very much out in the outside the zone. Eventually they'll have to make it towards the zone, and yes, the zone forms over command post, giving advantage to all the teams inside the zone. As we talk about Evil, he has to come out from that compound and make it towards the zone, but at the same time he has to fight off against 3 squads who will be making it towards the zone. As we talk about Nemesis, Mind Gamer spotting off the players of PVS, and 8 being cooked in from the side, trying to take down Yogi. Yogi has decided to fall back at the correct time, correct moment, making sure that he does not take any damage from the nades that have been cooked in from the side of Nemesis. Desi Gamers takes that launchers and make their way into the zone, and eventually have been spotted and by the side of PVS Gaming and Nemesis at the same time. They have to watch out while making their way into the zone. They have to be really careful as Total Gaming comes into the action, takes down a player from Chemin Esports. 2 players from Chemin Esports are down right now, and that's Total Gaming off to a good start. Let's see if they're able to dissect through these teams and eventually make it towards the top 5, because this has been the start has not been good for the side of Total Gaming and PVS Gaming, but eventually when it comes to this match, this might be the turning moment for them. Will they be able to do it for the favor? Will they be able to turn this match in the favor? It all depends on them finishing those kills. Delayed, he's able to do the knock, he's able to get that fight against them, but not able to execute the kills. As we look on to Team TSM FTX, about to be engaged in a close range fight against Team Chemin Esports.
Well, right now, look at that zone. The danger zone above the zone, exactly. And now, TSM Amazon gets a knock on UG Golden, as this is a fight between TSM FTX and Done and Dusted. They have confirmed TSM FTX out of the game, because Amazon was right now the last survivor from his team, and yes, he gets eliminated at the 12th position. UG Mania now will be surviving, but they have to fight against Team Desi Gamers and PVS Gaming to enter the zone. Meanwhile, Delete gets a kill confirmation on Team Chaos Arian, as Team Total Gaming are just looking out for kills. They aren't looking for the position. They just need to enter the zone by getting some kills, by getting the kill points that they really need. Okay, so they have an angle on a team trying to get inside the zone, as Scary gets down from the damage of the zone. Techie gets taken down from the damage of the zone, and D Esports is now going to be the target of Total Gaming, as triple kill comes up for PVS Gaming. Team Chaos gets eliminated from the zone damage, and Vivek, Tech KK are out of the game.
And as we talk about it, dead shot going in for the finish onto the side of TD Esports. The last 2 players standing for Team D Esports is going to be Roshan and RNSS. RNSS trying to give the revive to his teammate, and yes, the revive comes in at the same time. Evil getting spotted off, and that's Mafia coming into play and taking on the last player standing for Evil Army, putting an end to Evil Army at the 10th position. But right now, Team D Roshan suffers at the hands of Team Total Gaming and Team Nemesis at the same moment. Delayed getting knocked out. RNSS made sure that they have an opening to go in for that revive and make it towards the zone eventually. Delayed is going to get revive at any moment right now, but as we look on to Prasanna, Raven Esports is also focusing the firepower onto the side of Team D Esports. As we look on to Delete, getting knocked and finished off by Loverboy. PVS comes in from a different angle, goes in for that knock and finish at the same time. As we talk about Fozziaje getting knocked out, PVS is going and trying to dissect the team of Team Total Gaming, and the last two players standing for Total Gaming is going to be Mafia Bala and Mafia, who have to get that revive onto the side of Fozzy Ajay, and yes, the revive comes in for his team at the same time. With three men standing, PVS Gaming is pushing in towards the zone, and they are looking strong right now, but it's going to be Team D Esports suffering at the breath of the zone and giving the life outside the zone. As we talk about Nemesis coming into action, Nades being flanked at the proper moment, Chemin Esports taking down players from Total Gaming and UGB at the same time. Chemin Esports looking very strong. Desi Gamers coming into action and being Ignite, and it's going to be Mafia taking down two players of AFF Esports. Two players knocked out, two players finished off. Mafia at a killing spree right now, but getting finished off. It's going to be Total Gaming finishing off at the 8th position.
Yeah, definitely. Total Gaming eliminated at the 8th position, and now we have 7 teams surviving. Yogi, the Grenade Man, is going to get a kill on Desi Gamers Ignite, and a quadra kill pops up for Team PVS Gaming. Yogi, as they have already got 7 kills, but entering the zone would be a big task for them, as now they have 2 squads against them. Nemesis already engaging in a fight against UG Mania and Desi Gamers. Harsh gets a knock on Nemesis as UG Mania gets eliminated by the side of Nemesis, Mr. Gamer. Desi Gamers are now healing themselves. They have the heals that they want to enter the zone, but meanwhile Team PVS Gaming, they have everything to lose. 20 glue balls in the hands of Loverboy, but the glue balls are not being utilized because the position is bad for them, and right now if they want to enter the zone, they just want to utilize the house covers that they have. Okay, Nemesis, Mr. Gamers comes upon Team PVS Gaming and gets eliminated by the side of PVS Yogi, and now we have the last 5 squads in this death circle. This is going to be the death circle as only 15 seconds left, and Pavan is going to have a lot of grenades on him because his position is revealed. He's just sitting behind the glue ball as Insane gets a knock on PVS Yogi, just coming onto him, but yes, gets taken down with the help of M1887, and now we have the 5 teams and 10 players. The zone has also started to close in as we just see the warning sign coming up on the map.
This game with the last 2 players standing, goes in for the push onto the side of Team Chemin Esports, get a knock with a melee in his hand, and he's going to get finished off, getting traded off. At the same time, Chemin Esports takes down a knock with a grenade in his hand. Chemin Esports getting finished off, and that's Desi Gamers put into, and last 2 teams standing right now is going to be Raven Esports. Last 2 teams is going to be Chemin Esports, and just in front of them is going to be the last player standing from AFF Esports. That's Mafia. A lot of fight happened in that small skirmish, small region itself, and it's going to be Adam coming in for a backstab, and AFF Esports have been eliminated. That's a booyah coming in, a perfect booyah for the side of Team Chemin Esports.
You know, this was the chance of Team Chemin Esports previously in the Kalahari map. Today, AFF Esports were the winners of the first Kalahari map that we saw, but now Chemin Esports, they take that trophy from them, and now they'll be the winners of the Kalahari map, the second Kalahari map for the day.
I have no idea what happened in the final zone. In the dead zone, there were 5 teams standing. Eventually, there were like, as soon as the zone started closing in, only 2 teams remaining. I was like, whoa, what happened here? It was just Chemin Esports versus AFF Esports. I remember one of the players from Chemin Esports going in with that melee and trying to take down a player from Evil Army. Evil Army, was it? Evil Army? I think that was Evil Army that was put to a shutdown, but I'm not sure. But we'll know it for sure when I go back and just take that sleek a bit back, and you can rewind it and see it for yourself. But when it comes to the rotations, it was a perfect rotation coming in from Team D Esports, but eventually they were not able to execute it because it was very much out for them. There was Raven Esports focusing the lead onto them. There was Total Gaming who was focused the gunfire onto them, and at the same time there was one more squad who was making sure that AFF did not, Team D Esports did not make it towards the zone. I think it was AFF Esports.
Yeah, AFF Esports, they managed to get some good knocks and some good kills, but there was Total Gaming also not allowing Team D Esports to enter the zone, whereas Team Chaos just got wiped out. No kills from the side of the enemy teams, they just got wiped out by the MVP. The zone is the MVP, as you always say. So yes, the zone had a lot of damage on Team D Esports and Team Chaos, but meanwhile we also need to take a look on Chemin Esports. From a long time, literally they were just holding their position. They were not getting out of the houses that they had. They had the best position on the command post. They knew the zone is going to land around them, and they just need to work upon with their resources. They landed the grenades perfectly, they landed their gunshots perfectly on the enemy teams, and then it was just done for the team, and they got a booyah for themselves.
Early skirmishes between Team Chaos and Team D Esports.
Exactly.
I don't know why they are already trying to take that early gunfights. And as we talk about Team Evil Army holding on to Refinery, Earlier, it used to be Team D Esports. Whenever 4 unknown isn't present, Team D
Right.
Esports used to go in for refinery and take that advantage of the refinery. But this time, they are coming at different strategy. They're trying to go in against Team Chaos. Team Chaos have been able to put down a player or two before going down, but this time they were able to run away from that area, and somewhere I think they were running low on supplies, so that made Team D Esports a bit more vulnerable. But Team Chaos was able to pull it off a bit, and it was very advantageous for them. But let's see how these kills and damage points for all the teams are gonna come in. The graphs is going to be on a screen in a few seconds, and I'm pretty much sure somewhere it's going to be teams like Total Gaming who did maximum damage. Because as we're talking about Total Gaming, if they have to get to the top of the leaderboard, they have to make sure to convert those knocks into kills. It was PVS with 5,496 at the top.
9 kills.
And yes, 9 kills. And Total Gaming obviously at the second with 4,943 and 4 kills. This is what I've been talking about Total Gaming. They are able to get that knocks but not able to execute those kills.
Right.
But when it comes to Chemin Esports, they done the least number of damage but the most kills with 10 kills, 3,515 damage.
Exactly. Look at that. They have 3,500 damage. Meanwhile, 9 kills for 5,496 damage. So yes, that's a lot of difference between these two teams. But still, Chemin Esports, they managed to get this boya for themselves with a 10 kills and 3,000 plus damage.
Well, yeah, I think this time when it comes to the overall kills, Chemin Esports will be standing at top because 20 points already in the name. But let's look up the matchup because it's going to be again the same matchup because it's a wild cards. The 12 teams will be playing again and again, and looking up towards the matchup. We still have 2 matches remaining for this day. Let's see how this match goes on, because teams like TSM FTX have to bounce back again in this match, and Total Gaming have to come back towards the top, and PVS also have to bring back something out of the box.
Well, this is going to the match number 5 of the day 1 of the wild card matches that we are going to witness here. Bermuda map is going to the map chosen. PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, Evil Army on the first chart. And yes, these teams are well and said. Chemin Esports, the chart, the team on the first chart won that boya in the game number 4, and now taking a look onto the second chart.
It's going to be Total Gaming, TSM FTX, Team Chaos, AFF Esports, Nemesis, and Raven Esports. Finally, good to be back on the desk with Mrudul Kapoor as we'll be stepping into the final 2 maps of the day. At the same time, Mrudul, it's been a change of pace when it comes to the overall points table, I would like to say. At the same time, we all know that there were teams which were expected to perform absolutely amazing, like PVS and Total Gaming. But all of a sudden, it looks like they've been restricted by teams like AFF. They've been restricted by Team D Esports yet again. Because it is not like it's happening new. We have been seeing that happen in the league stages itself. But for now, let's look at the casters' prediction of the following match, which is going to reveal a lot about what people are vouching for. You're going in for Raven Esports. Bit of a shocker for me, but I'll be relying on Evil Army because I'm able to see a potential coming up from their side. Total Gaming still vouched in by Telugu and Tamil Desk. Yet again, we have PVS Gaming by Warlow. Desi Gamers, we have Oro. Been chosen by him. And then Team Chaos by Munish. Yet again, we all know that, teams like Team Chaos are actually starting to be chaotic. Then we have Desi Gamers actually outperforming themselves, to be specific. Because I've never seen Desi Gamers go in like blind esports killing people. Because we have seen blind esports doing it in the previous games. So I'm wanting to see whether, the stronger teams like comparatively, like in the other tournaments when we compare, we know the stronger teams are going to be Total Gaming PVS. Let's see how they'll be able to, outcome and come up with a new strategy to restrict these teams as we'll be going to the flight path.
Well, now here comes the flight path for the match number 5. AFF Esports, Chemin Esports, Nemesis, Raven Esports, Desi Gamers, TSM FTX, UG Mania, PVS Gaming, Team D Esports, Total Gaming, Team Chaos, Evil Army, going into the match of the wildcard day 1 Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series. The plane is going to be above the Bermuda map.
Yes, and it looks like it's going to be going somewhere probably to the northern side this time for sure. Yes, it's going to be coming from the northern side, ending up in Rimnam village. Not to the center, but good enough for people to actually travel to the side of Mars Electric. But people to Sentosa will have a long journey up ahead from them. At the same time, Total Gaming dividing themselves above Mill could give them a lot of farming for themselves. Nobody's going to challenge them for sure in the beginning itself. But I'm wanting to see whether Raven Esports again will be coming into a skirmish with anybody anytime soon. Team Chaos going in for the blue tire loot. So they'll be the strong strongest when it comes to firepower. Evil Army going into Observatory, UG Mania going into Hangar. Clock Tower taken by Nemesis. TSM as always going down. Look at what's happening over here. Deadshot trying to run away. He's going to be slaughtered for sure by the Chemin Esports team as they're going to come in with an M1. They're going to be connecting shots. An easy knock because of no vest and helmet. Confirmation coming in. And the first blood in the name of Kaushik.
Kaushik gets that first blood on Team Raven Esports where they weren't expecting it, but yes, they are one of the good teams that we look out for in each and every match. Chemin Esports, they have proved themselves in all the 4 matches that we have witnessed till now, in the wild cards, and now they're just running for the kills. Meanwhile, on the left hand side, they still have 2 players in the close range vicinity, but they're not going for the fights. They have to loot for themselves too. And meanwhile, only 1 minute and 30 seconds for these players to decide for the next zones, and after that, they have to go for the next positions too. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, one more team number 9 is coming close again, and that is going to be PVS Gaming. They just love it, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, PVS Gaming, I've been saying the rotation has always been challenged no matter where they're going.
Exactly.
It's not like they're going to end up in a place and stay there for a long time. Every time they step into some place, there's going to be someone welcoming them with lead or probably some grenades as well. Let's see, it's going to be a different story this time as PVS Gaming is already spotted out CES but not able to connect much shots. Adam at the nth moment is going to put up the chrono shield as well as the glue wall. I don't know how come players are actually doing it. It's either you go for chrono shield for 5 seconds and then come up with the glue wall, or else you'll be taken down. Nobita will be getting aim got down and will be confirming with the Scar. The least gun I've seen so far being used is going to be the Scar. Let's see how well that's going to be. Adam with the mini Uzi wanting somebody to come a bit more closer. Will be vulnerable at this point of time. Will have to heal up. He again comes into the crosshairs of Nobita. Will be confirmed as well. Nobita starts off really good for PVS Gaming with 2 kills and a valuable 4 points.
Yeah, the valuable 4 points you talk about, they have got that so easily. And meanwhile, now Ashustar and Kaushik are going to the place, going towards the drop of Raven Esports. But yes, Chemin Esports, they always drop on Sentosa Island if they have the flight path near them. So not the drop of Raven Esports, but kind of they have a fight with Raven Esports early, having an early skirmish between Chemin Esports. Now we have the point standings of the previous match, whereas Chemin Esports, they got that Boya with 40 points in their hands, having 10 kills with themselves. PVS Gaming, yeah,
finally able to see that PVS Gaming is actually doing something good. Equations coming out for them, but all they have to do is maintain this momentum. 33 points coming in their name. Desi Gamers right behind them with 24, AWF with 21. Still, Total Gaming kind of, I would like to say that they are probably crawling themselves in the wild cards. They have to do something magical to make sure they come with a 20+ pointer for the rest of the game to actually make it into the finale.
Well, we just discussed, Cape and I discussed that TSM FTX is looking for just some consistency points that they need to have. But now we have the MVP from the match number 4, and that is going to be CES Adam with 6 kills and a total damage of 1,944, 1 headshot and 1 assist.
But how much has it paid off in this game? He's already got taken down and he's already finished as well. Chemin Esports have a drop location at the side of Sentosa.
Exactly.
Not choosing to do so will be paying a heavy price at this point of time. Yes, they were looking for the extra kills of Raven Esports lurking here and there, but eventually lost 2 of their valuable players. Now it's important for them to make it slowly inside the circle as it has taken a northern shift. And I think it's going to be favoring Total Gaming and Team D Esports. Important for Total Gaming to do the farming, go back to Riverside, hold that position, because we have seen least players actually taking a rotation towards Mill and then making it inside Riverside. We all know that compound at Riverside have a lot, has a lot of capability when it comes to a mid-range and a long-range fight. Hoping to see them conquer that place and get the booyah in the name for the sake of being the strongest teams of Free Fire so far. But for now, we'll be looking at the side of UG Mania as they have their eyes set on Nemesis Gaming.
Well, UG Mania, they have their eyes on Team Nemesis. Nemesis were one of the winners of the Bermuda map, the first Bermuda for today. But now Man Patel spotted in the open, and that is the eye of Golden. Golden was the guy who got the frags for Team UG Mania. As soon as he exits his cover, Man Patel will be dealing that damage from the side of Team UG. But Mind Gamer headshots with the help of DMR. Not with a sniper, but the help of a DMR.
Woodpecker,
exactly, and he'll get a knock on Team UG Mania. Now it's coming to a good fight between themselves, because it is a 4 versus 4 fight as Man Patel gets picked up, and now Ozaf, he has an angle on Prince Singh, but he is firing some shots on the team, and whereas Team Chaos are now going to engage against Team Evil Army, and Black Tiger gets taken down from the help of Car 98.
But at the same time, I don't know how come it's going to be tough for teams like Golden to UG Mania to actually remember that the Chrono Shield is actually buffed. I mean, nerfed. I'm so sorry. Is it nerfed or buffed?
Nerfed.
It's been nerfed to 5 seconds,
Yeah.
and due to which it gets taken down. Some grenades being thrown from here and there. Beam will be able to do something. Scary will be able to do get a player down as well, but still some grenades going in. Scary will be confirming Evil at this point of time, and it looks like this could be the beginning of the end for Evil Army as more players are getting executed. Vivek will be trying to push in with that M18, wants to take that shot against Beam. We all know how valuable Beam's skill can actually be. Even though there was a very good exchange coming in from their side, they'll be living up with 4 kills in their name, and they'll be getting points, and that's going to be Team D Esports coming in from behind, backstabbing them, making sure that they're going to execute proper kills against the side of Team Chaos, because in case they left them to stay alive for a brief period of time, they all know that Team Chaos can be really chaotic and can cause a problem for AWF Esports. Rail gets taken down. The team is not bothered. They want to finish off Team Chaos at this point of time. A landmine is doing most of the job for the team. It's going to be Pawan, the last man standing. Tech KK, what do I have to say about this man? The man with the highest IQ will be able to execute 2 kills with just a landmine, and he'll be reviving his teammate as well. Another landmine has been taken off as well. It's going to be Team D Esports trying to come in with the last man standing from the side of Tech KK. From the time of Team Chaos, they'll be shut down by the time of Team D Esports. Let's not forget what they have done for the side of AWF Esports just by executing 1 landmine.
D Esports, AFF Esports, they got 2 players out with the help of just 1 landmine, and Tech KK will be remembered for that. And now there is a fight going on near peak. You have PVS Gaming approaching for that fight and wanting to have some kills. PVS Gaming already having 3 kills with the third parties that they engage in, and now we have seen this gameplay coming with them from the last 2 or 3 days, because that has just been formed by them. This strategy was not there in the league stages, and now their gameplay is going to show upon a lot of charges on Team AFF Esports as Nemesis with that grenade, the Mind Gamer with the Mindful grenade gets a last kill on Team AFF Esports, and they get eliminated on the 10th position. Meanwhile, now Team D Esports having 4 kills. They have to fight against one more team, that is Team PVS Gaming, and just against them is going to be Team Total Gaming holding that compound near Mill.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be the best spot for you to hold as long as possible, because eventually when the final circle comes out, you're going to have enough number of resources. It's just that you need to have your fingers a little warmed up, trying to scope in, trying to get some shots in your name. If you don't have momentum of a fight and all of a sudden you expect enemies to come in front of you, it's going to be hard for you to perform against them. But at the same time, we all know that Total Gaming is actually capable of doing something more better than that. At the same time, at the side of Plantation, we can see Team D Esports. Look at the small what do you call that? A small group of teams actually held up at the bridge itself. If the zone takes a western or a eastern shift, that is when teams are going to be challenged to stay away from one another. TSM versus PVS is what we are able to see. Eco will be taken off Memedron, and there's going to be an exchange as well, due to which it's important for TSM or PVS to actually fall back, not take this fight, because the other teams can come in for a third party and steal those kills or probably take them down as well.
PVS Gaming Loverboy with a knock on RNSS is going for the charge in on all the teams that they're seeing. Even if it's TSM, even if it's Total Gaming, they just don't read the name. They read the kills that they get. They read the number of kills that they have and just go with the strategies. And now they're sandwiched between 4 teams. Look at that. From the other side that they have Team D Esports. On that side we have TSM. On that side we have Nemesis. And Eco gets a knock with the help of Parafel on RNSS. So yes, now it's Team D Esports where PVS Gaming have an eye on them.
Yeah, but eventually PVS Gaming are firing shots and revealing their location, because all the teams around will be hearing to those gunshots. They all know where they're concentrating, where they have to concentrate their lane. At the same time, TSM, after losing Emedron, looks to be a little more defensive this time, and it's good to see them there in the defensive mode. Team TG is going to be welcoming the people who are trying to come in style. It's going to be Team DG who are going to get taken down over here. Harsh almost on fire, can be taken down easily. 2 players out there in the open. Total Gaming have to regroup before they take this fight, or else this is what gonna happen. Desi gets taken down, Mafia gets taken down. Now it's gonna be tough for them to actually, you know, come and revive, as well as, you know, try to make something different, as Mafia is gonna be connecting one shot against Shanti, and it's important for Total Gaming to actually stick together yet again, because it's gonna be DG from one side, and on the other side we can see that Team 5 and Team 9 are also closing in.
TSM is going to be close to them. PVS Gaming is going to be close on them as the lead gets a knock on. Insane. AC80 doing the damage on the enemy team. Desi Gamers having a knock on them.
Kingfisher. Kingfisher,
sorry for that. And now Mafia confirms that kill with the Kar 98 on Fabindro. So yes, if you are dealing the damage, you have to be in the cover. TSM were too open to have that fight against Team Total Gaming, and now they'll be paying the price and the sacrifice of TSM. Okay, now we have an angle on Raven Esports too, as they are approaching from the above, from the northern side on the peak area, and there comes the summon of the drop that they called out for. Meanwhile, holding the positions, we can also have an angle on Desi Gamers, and Mafia is just not allowing even a single guy to peek on Total Gaming. They were allowed to make a rotation, but now they're not being allowed to get a knock on Total Gaming.
Yeah, but at the same time, I was shocked to see that, you know, Team DG actually did not capitalize on 2 knocks against the side of Total Gaming.
Right.
If 2 players down, they could have just rushed in or thrown in some grenades and tried to restrict them from reviving one another. But eventually, that is going to make them pay the price, or that could be the boon which Total Gaming were actually looking forward for in this game, and get the booyah in the name as well. For on the other side, we're able to see that it's going to be UG Army coming in from the northern side. They're not going to be bothered by anybody for sure. They're going to take a late rotation into Plantation, where they'll have zone advantage as well. So they have they are the team looking forward to get the booyah in the name. The UA being summoned, nobody inside, you know, revealing locations of themselves or under the UAV itself. Look at what TSM is doing. They have a huge area to look forward for. Nobody's going to backstab them, and yes, they have the best spot in the house as well. Now it's tough for UG Mania to actually come down and make it inside the circle. Let's see how things will turn out, as we still have, you know, 9 teams alive with 31 still standing.
You know, I have a reason for that why you said that TSM has the best spot at this position, because even if PVS Gaming is on the center circle, they are clubbed up with the side of 4 teams. And they can have damage from any of the sides that they want to have a fight against. So yes, this is the best position that TSM is having, because the zone is kind of taking the some rotations or some hard shift towards the southern eastern side, and that is looking really good for Team TSM. Meanwhile, now Raven Esports trying to enter inside the zone. They have to fight against team number 4, and that is going to be Okay, UG Mania.
I believe that Prasanna has an opportunity to take down the complete squad of UG Mania at this point of time. A well-cooked grenade can actually do a lot of damage. At the same time, they're busy trying to remove the sports car out of a place where it's stuck, and I don't believe that could be the right kind of thing for UG Mania to do at this point of time. Yes, Prasanna had an angle. Prasanna could have taken shots. I've been seeing that. Oh my god, on the other side, Old Monk comes in with that Sith was able to take down one player. TG at this point of time will have to fight out against the 2 players of TSM. I believe they've already done the damage against Old Monk. Yes, the confirmation comes in from the side of Fozzy. He was able to come in at the right time and give the backup for Mafia, but at the same time, the last lurking person from TSG has a lot to do. It's going to be PVS coming in from behind, confirming all the players of 2 players of Total Gaming, and he's going to be doing more of it as he has his eyes set on delete, and Mafia as well. Mafia cooking a grenade will be restricted for a brief period of time. Nobita trying to rush in with that MP40. He has to watch out for the M10 and Mafia Bala's grenades as well. Yogi tries to come in from the other angle. He wants to go in through the window. He has an opportunity over here, but a good grenade coming in from the other side. Mafia Bala will be putting himself down and giving his kill to PVS. Nobita, and Delete will be the last man standing any second soon. He could be erased as his name is going to pop up on the kill feed.
Total Gaming Delete is going to be the last player surviving from the side of Total Gaming, whereas Nobita is just trying to jump.
1 HP.
1
nice.
HP, and yes, Nobita manages to get that kill with the help of MP40. MP40, as you just said, in the close range, this gun has one of the highest fire rates, and yes, the SMG doing the charge on Total Gaming, but that grenade launcher, Yogi, why you do that? 3 kills with the help of
Yeah,
grenade
2
launcher.
kills and a knock, I believe, or a kill against another team for sure. But at the same time, a bit of a confusion does pop up when we have a lot of things on the kill feed. Look at what DG is doing. They're going to keep their crosshairs set up on them, and they're going to be confirming players as well. Man Patel is also going to be joining in, but Shanti gets taken down, will be revived anytime soon. There's going to be some healing happening on the side of Harsh as well. UG Mania a bit vulnerable at this point of time. They have to come out of the bridge, make it through the players of DJ and make it inside the circle as well. On the other side, we can see Team D Esports is taking advantage of all these things. They're going to have a lot of kills in their name. Roshan gets taken down, will be confirmed anytime soon because it's the it's the M82 which can shoot inside the wall as well. Last man standing for their side will be knocked out of play zone. Most of the players knocked out of play zone. Shanti gets eliminated. Then the shot from Golden is going to be confirming the whole squad as well. Now UG Mania have to watch out for the side of Nemesis, who's going to be gatekeeping them inside the circle. If they get some kills in the name with Team D Esports working things out, then it's going to be hard for them. What a gameplay coming in from the side of Java Boy. But eventually UG Mania probably will be saying goodbye. With Team D Esports, RNS will be the last man standing for them.
Now 4 teams and 10 players surviving in this last circle, and no team is inside the circle. Whereas Team D Esports, RNS gets eliminated, and now Nemesis having 4 kills. They are one of the best teams right now standing because they have all the 4 players. Meanwhile, just having a good angle, we also have PVS Gaming coming with the charge, having 9 kills, and these 2 teams fighting. Mr. J is just going to enjoy with his position because he's right now inside, near about the circle, not inside the circle, as Loverboy might be he knows the position of Mr. J. If he doesn't know the position of Mr. J, that is going to land a lot of problem on the team. And now Mind Gamer is making the way for the team. Ozaf landing those glue walls is also making the way for the teams. And now PVS Gaming, some good damages coming upon Team Nemesis. And there we go, Nemesis having a lot of damage on the side of Mr. J.
Mr. J, what a good rotation coming in from his side, will be detected at this point of time. He has to make sure that he stays alive. Loverboy takes down Mr. Gamer. Let's see whether he'll be able to execute the kill against JYT, who's got that AWM in his hand, but he's going for a heal battle rather. On the other side, PVS have to concentrate their firepower on Nemesis. Yogi will be taking down 2 players, will be confirming the last man as well. Triple kill coming in from his side. Now it's going to be easier for the last player to actually stay alive, and PVS Gaming, domination coming in from their side, taking a good booyah with the side, taking down the last player. I believe that it was a very good gameplay coming in from their side.
A 1v4 from the side of PVS Yogi, and this man is amazing with the grenade launcher, having a 1 versus 2 against Team Total Gaming, and now getting a 1 versus 4 against the team, and now they have the booyah against Team Nemesis. Nemesis were one of the winners of the first match, and now they just steal it from them.
Yeah, but eventually I want to point out to that one player. TSM had 1 player still standing, lurking around. At one, there was a time for him to actually jump off and take the same spot which he had taken when Loverboy was not looking at him. But eventually, did he get taken down before the team?
Yeah, before the team.
Yeah, so he had a little bit of a chance. You know, he could have bought it on the second place, but few points away from him. But he's done an amazing job actually surviving until the end. Sometimes you need to have players like that, because placement points is what actually matters at the overall points table as well. But PVS Gaming, what domination, all 4 players standing out in the open, welcoming, other teams. They're like, we are in the open, try to take a shot against us. Yogi on the other side, he's like, you guys be the bait, I'll be the man with the grenade launcher, doing most of the damage against all the teams possible. PVS Gaming finally able to dominate. This is the kind of PVS Gaming the South was looking at, and eventually they're going to be happy to look at them bounce back in the wildcards day 1. We still have 1 last match left, and let's see which team will be actually dominating in the map of Kalahari.
You know, they are being dominating, they are getting booyahs, they are getting some consistency on the leaderboard. Previously, we also saw in Kalahari how much consistent they were, and getting those kills is a lot for them. Having a lot of damage, meanwhile, if we can see they have got kills, they have got a lot of damage too. Previously, when it was UG Mania, they got 10 kills, but they didn't get a lot of damage for the team.
Yeah, but there are few teams, who are actually capable of coming in with an amazing sniper shots. Let's speak about Team TSM. They have JYT. I do believe they have another sniper on their team. I'm forgetting his name.
Amedron.
Amedron is
Yeah.
there. Even Amedron was able to execute something good, but still, they're not actually using those snipers. They're wanting to go a bit more close range, sometimes taking rotation which are unnecessary.
Right.
That is what TSM have to look out for. In case they come up to solve these errors, then I think they'll be the unstoppable team to make it into the finale as well. Let's talk about Team D Esports.
Right.
What a position they had at one
Right,
point
exactly.
of time. After Harsh gets taken down, the rest of the team had a time to get inside the circle, but still they were busy outside the circle trying to take down enemy. That is when Nemesis come into action. The last man standing was TR and SS, who couldn't make it inside the circle, and the zone did most of the damage for Team D Esports. Let's see the kind of damage being dealt. PVS Gaming 6,618 damage with 14 kills in their name. The right kind of gameplay, the right kind of stealing opportunity coming in from the side of PVS Gaming. 14 kills in the name. If there is any other team which could cope up against them, was obviously Team D Esports with 6 kills. If they made it inside the circle, they had an opportunity in their name. Apart from that, we have been speaking about Total Gaming performing, having an average of 2,500 damage, still not able to execute kills. Then we have, Chaos having 6 kills with 2,900 damage. Desi Gamers with 2000, but look at what's happening on the other side. TSM with 2,332 damage, yet no kills coming in from their side. That shows that once the knock is coming in, there's nobody to confirm. Or they're going in for knock against team which are having cover.
Yeah.
We saw, right?
Yeah.
They were shooting against the team of UG Mania.
Yeah.
Yeah, they shot him.
Yeah.
I think it was JYT shooting them
Exactly,
with the
JYT.
sniper,
Yeah.
and then he was getting revived. Shots getting revived. It's just revealing your location,
Right.
burning your resources. You won't be able to do anything much.
Well, now we have the matchup for the last match of the day, match number 6 on the Kalahari, day 1 of the wildcard. PVS Gaming, UG Mania, Chemin Esports, Desi Gamers, Team D Esports, and Evil Army. And on the second slide,
Obviously, it's going to be Total Gaming, TSM FTX, Team Chaos, AWF Esports, Nemesis, and Raven. We have been speaking about these names on and on and on as these 12 teams have a last chance to make it into the finale. We all do understand this is day 1. We have 2 more days left for them to actually fight it out, but at the same time they need to remember this, that consistency is the only key for them to make it into the finale. If you perform in one day and not perform in the other 2, then things are going to be bad. At the same time, concentrate on being on the top 6, not on the bottom, for sure.
well, today is the day when they make their mark on the scoreboard. When you just see the overall standings, you'll see how PVS Gaming performed. You will see how Team Total Gaming or the other
and
teams
Team
performed.
D Esports
Exactly.
and TSM consistency, everything will be visible.
Right. Well, now we have an angle on the caster prediction from the Hindi desk. From the side of Oro, we have Evil Army, Nemesis by the side of Monish Nayak, PVS Gaming from the side of Arca, and I chose Team Chaos, Chemin Esports, and Team D Esports by PVS Gaming, and World Loop, and T18 Gaming, and DK also choosing PVS Gaming and TSM FTX.
Yeah, the reason why I'm choosing PVS Gaming is slowly they built up momentum. They're able to execute booyahs, and in the map of Kalahari, we can expect them to come up with good sniper shots, which they were able to do so. Let's not forget what grenade launchers, what they've been using are actually being on point. Hopefully, they'll be able to do so as we'll be jumping into the map anytime soon. But remember, ladies and gentlemen, these are the wildcards. If you're enjoying the game, don't forget to share it among your friends so that they can also come in and watch what's happening over here and enjoy the game. As we'll be stepping into the flight path one last time, we'll be looking at the teams.
AFF Esports, Chemin Esports, Team Nemesis, Raven Esports, Desi Gamers, TSM FTX, UG Mania. We have Team PVS Gaming, Team D Esports, Total Gaming, Team Chaos with Evil Army jumping off into the last match for the day. Wildcard day number 1, match 6. Snapdragon Conquest Free Fire Pro Series, the plane above the Kalahari map.
Yeah, eventually it looks like the plane is going pretty much close to Refinery. That means it's going to be dissecting into the center. Blue Zone on Council Hall. The team which is going to take that risk of going really far away will be blessed with a lot of firepower. The team choosing to go to Mammoth have a long journey up ahead of them. At the same time, for now we are able to see that Santa Catarina again taken by Total Gaming. They have an opportunity over here. Good to see that TSM are not trying to taunt any other team and trying to get themselves themselves at Stone Ridge.
Old
We
Monk.
always seen Old Monk will be that one person away from the team, trying to see which is the team closest to them to go in for attack. Command post being taken by them, and a skirmish possible. But TechKK having the scar will be going in, taking the person down. Then it's going to be Roshan trying to punch in people. Vivek gets taken down. Then that's going to be an exchange probably happening over here. As we can see, TechKK is going to be the stronger person, where he's going to revive his teammate, and he's going to be probably confirming 2 players as well. But at the same time, let's not forget, Scary gets taken. Scary punches Chino in the face and puts him down. He's going to be confirming him as well. That's going to be Team TC losing a player, Team D losing a player, and it's important for both of teams to regroup at this point of time. As Amitwala from an off angle with the AUG will be confirming probably, as Aaron will be there. He sees Vivek on one angle. It's important for him to go in and confirm the kill. He's got two guns in his name, and this is the kind of revival which I've seen before, which is not going to work out anytime soon. Core coming in from their side. Another knock comes in from the side of Amitwala. He wants to go in for the third one. Gets the third one. Roshan will be confirming Aaron from behind with that M18. They're going to have the final laugh, and they're going to chill on their seats as they've got 4 kills, but they have to remember that they've lost Chino.
Well, I think so. Amit Walia was going for a knock on the player just behind the glue wall, just behind that wall, not for the player. Vivek coming from the outer side, but out of the spray and out of the box, he got that knock on that player, and well, definitely they just contested them on their drop. Team D Esports were contesting Team Chaos on their drop.
Yeah, but Team Chaos had an advantage, you know. I saw Scarl coming into action. 2 knocks probably came in from their side, but eventually the backup. How many seconds did it take for them to bring up with the backup? They came up with the backup. They were like, we are not going to fall back. We're going to make sure that, we're going to take them out. No guns, no problem. We're going to use our fists, take down enemies, and they were able to do it peacefully as they take down the chaotic team of Team Chaos. PVS Gaming leading with another 50-pointer in their name. They'll be climbing up the ladder so much that it looks like they'll be slowly making a huge difference between themselves and other teams and making into the finale anytime soon. Right behind them is going to be the Team D Esports. They're also performing well. Nemesis doing well. Desi Gamers doing an amazing job from the beginning. TSM slowly putting 15 to 17 points, a minimum of 8, an average coming in from their side. But Total Gaming in the bottom, still suffering, still crawling around in the points table. Now they have to push hard to make it on the top.
Leaving just one match apart, that was match number 4. TSMFT is going for some positioning points, not for the kill points. And now we have PVS Yogi. If this man was not here, I would have just gone out of the desk and would not be casting. Yes, PVS Yogi having 5 kills and a total damage of 3,229 with 0 headshots, but with 1 assist. Well, I think the headshots won't matter because he has the grenade launcher.
Exactly. You put that grenade launcher in the right spot, get maximum number of knocks and kills, and that is what the team will need. Let's not forget, there's another person who's doing most of the job for Team 4 Unknown, Radhe Thakur, with this grenades and grenade launchers. How many damage did he have? 35,000 plus by the end of the league stages. I mean, what else can you expect? Nemesis on this time taking a very, very different strategy. All 4 players in all 4 corners. We're pretty much close to foundation. But if TG tries to push on them, it's going to be much more easier for them because they'll be able to take 1 player at a time and 1 kill at a time and 2 points at the overall points table at a time.
Well, now Team Desi Gamers, they need to be quite aware of their positioning. Well, they are having a good position at the foundation. Oh, PVS Gaming once again engaging in the initial fight, and now Yogi will be having a lot of Prasanna, and Yogi is one of the main key players, but he gets taken down from the side of Prasanna as now Ajit gets a knock on Nobita, but there's a good trade from the side of Loverboy as Loverboy is now having a revive on his teammate Nobita. A 3 versus 4 fight now once again converted to a 2 versus 4 as Loverboy engage against Team Raven Esports. Sai Shankar gets a knock on Loverboy, and now it's looking that PVS Gaming is going to have a lot of damage from Team Raven Esports. Having those grenades, okay, will have a lot of damage, but still they are not wanting to confirm the kills. They're not wanting to confirm the position as gets spotted by Prasanna. Deadshot in the close range. Loverboy gets a knock on Sai Shankar with the help of the headshots, and Loverboy will be busy in healing himself, but Deadshot gets a knock with the help of Thompson, and now only 1 player surviving from the team, that is going to be Loverboy. But Deadshot comes in with the Thompson, and now the story is over from this match. PVS Gaming, they get eliminated at 11th position.
I do understand how come Yogi behind the glue wall was able to come out again and show himself out in the open and get taken down. He knew, he could see that there was a glue wall in front of him. He could have gone back, probably come up with a different kind of strategy, but was a bit overconfident, due to which, he was able to, the flaw in him, sometimes overconfident is going to do that to you. I believe that is what happened, or probably he thought something else as well. For now, we'll be looking at the side of Refinery. We are able to see between Refinery and Command Post, we have 4 teams standing. A 4-way Mexican standoff could be possible, or Team D Esports can be churned by 3 teams around them. That's going to be Evil coming in from one side. There's going to be Nemesis coming in on the other side as well, against the side of Team Desi Gamers. Yes, this is happening somewhere far away, pretty much close to Shrines, I believe.
Yeah, the
Shrines.
The maze.
Yeah, the maze itself. But for now, let's see which team will be making it inside the circle.
Well, now Team Desi Gamers going for the circle rotation. There comes the warning, and they're really far away from the circle. So yes, and that is what I'm talking about. Each and every Kalahari map that they have played, they have always taken the launcher from the side of the maze and went for a late rotation, and that hasn't landed well for the team. Well, they'll be doing the same thing once again from the side of Raven Esports. But if they engage in that fight, Raven Esports is going to punish them just as they punished Team PVS Gaming. Now the zone is going for once again around that Refinery, Santa Catarina and Bayfront area, but still Team TSM are looking really good at the Stone Ridge.
Yeah, look at what happened with CSS. We see a knock coming in from their side. The revival will be coming in. Did you see the placement of TSM FTX as well as Total Gaming? They are the only 2 teams who won't be disturbed at this point of time. They want to come in late for the fights, and eventually that is going to pay a very good pointers for them. At the same time, the distance of TSM from one player to another keeps worrying me every single time. If JYT gets taken down, there's not going to be anybody who's be coming in close to revive. At the same time, Old Monk is holding an M18, not a long range gun to give the backup in case Jay gets taken down. The others will have an AC-80, but how long will that hold on? Because the second bullet is going to be very tough for you to connect, and 4 players when rushing on 1 player, that's going to be hard for them as well. Shai Shankar already inside the circle, not worrying about Prasanna or Deadshot, and eventually that is what I said. He's going to get taken down by Team DG outside the circle. All 4 players of Team DG sticking together will be, that'll be rewarded. Slowly, if not now, in the final circle for sure.
That was an instinct from your side that you just saw one of the players running in the open. That was Sai Shankar, and that instinct went good for Team Raven Esports, or all I can say Team Desi Gamers. But now Team Raven Esports, they do have focus, but they have lost 2 of their teammates as Sai Shankar got eliminated from Desi Gamers. Well, there are only 55 seconds left for this team to also rotate, and the zone is really far away on the western side. Previously, it was kind of a central western shape, but now it's towards the southern side, so it might come once again to the southern side of the Refinery as Mafia gets a knock on Team Nemesis Ozef, and he will confirm that kill, as now it's a 4 versus 3 fight engaging between each other. Mafia, it was just landing 10 meter around the position of Mafia, as now the grenades are being spammed from the side of Man Patel. Meanwhile, Nemesis, Mind Gamer and Mr. Gamer are going for a right hand side flank.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's a 3v4 fight. That is what Nemesis to be careful about. Otherwise, AFF can actually slaughter them. Good grenades being spawned out by both the sides. Let's see which team can actually stick together and make sure that they pay that they make the other teams pay. The circle is going to be shifting. AFF have an advantage of making it inside the circle and gatekeeping the others while making it trying to get inside the circle as well. It's important for us to also look at the map. Command post inside the circle and away from the side of Refinery. Good to see that happen. At the same time, the other teams will be making it inside the circle. This is the fight I was speaking about. Team DG is able to execute 1 more kill against Raven Esports. That's going to be the last man standing, and TSM. Old Monk, TSM, who are inside the circle, is going to be gatekeeping DG as well as Raven Esports, and it's important for DG not to get detected by TSM. If they do so, then the slaughter is going to begin from the side of TSM.
There was a reason that AFF Esports got a Booyah and then got a second position on the Kalahari map, because the zone was around the command post, but now it's not around command post.
Exactly.
It's going far away from the command post, and yes, once again the same thinking from the side of Team Desi Gamers that they have to go on the launch pad and then go for the zone. Team Total Gaming just holding their position on Santa Catarina. They never wanted to exit their position, and now they're going for the passive strategies that is quite working for them. They definitely look out for the passive strategies, and they do get some good positions.
Yeah, but at the same time, they need some kills in their name,
Right.
which they were not able to execute. But Delete this point of time, he is able to see that TSM is rushing in. He can tell his teammates as well. DG on the other side will be coming close contact with the side of TSM. I know that Total Gaming will be able to hear all the gunshots happening. At the same time, Fabindro is cooking some grenades. He knows that the group of Team DG are behind that blue wall. He wants to execute knocks as soon as possible. Fabindro is geared up. He's healed up as well. Now it's time for Team DG to say goodbye. In case not,
please.
then things are going to be very tough for them. Insane almost getting taken down. Will be healing himself as soon as possible. At the same time, TSM Amedron being in a very close range with that M18 can do some damage over here. But eventually, it's going to be Amedron who takes down Shanti as well. TSM with all four men standing have got decent number of kills in their name.
Completed.
As I said, Amedron had that M18 and was pretty close. Was able to execute 2 good kills in his name. But they have to watch out for Total Gaming inside the circle,
AFF
and they
Sports.
have to make it as early as possible,
Yeah.
or else the other 2 players of TSM, that's Old Monk and his teammate, might get taken down.
Yeah, well, Old Monk is not trying to get taken down as he gets a kill on the side of Team Nemesis. Already having focus, Team TSM, they do look good on their position, but Fabindro, he has been trapped by the side of AFF Esports. He won't be allowed to enter the zone. And Amedron
nice
gets
one.
a knock on Pavan. So yes, this was the knock that TSM was looking. Fabindro was looking.
Oh,
Inside
nice.
the zone, and Amedron, oh my god, with the help of Farmers, he's doing the damage that he wants on the side of AFF Esports.
Now it's important for TSM to give the right kind of backup for Amedron to make it inside the circle. Let's not forget Evil Army on the other
Helping
side.
them.
They have an angle to hold off as well. But Old Monk will be taking on Mafia, and it's important for them to confirm it as well. Delete will be confirming. Delete will be taken on Mr. JYT, confirming him as well.
Yeah.
So Delete right now detected by the side of Evil Army. This could be a blessing in disguise for TSM in case Evil Army will be able to execute knocks against Total Gaming. Total Gaming losing 1 player. We're able to see that Black Tiger Knight concentrating on the side of Evil Army. Kanish gets taken down because of the angle being held by Beam at this point of time. Evil Army 2 kills in their name, puts up a glue wall for cover. 3 kills in their name coming in. Beam will be healing to his full potential. Quadra kill coming in from the side of TSM. Let's see how well that's going to turn out as Fabindra has to go in and revive his teammate, or will be playing for placement points from here on.
Total Gaming is just utilizing their position near about the Santa Catarina, but they also have to go for the zone as Fabindro gets spotted by the eyes of Mafia and the shutdown by the side of Total Gaming on TSM FTX at the 6th position. Total Gaming having 3 kills, they have to move for the zone, and Chemin Esports, they're already inside the zone having a fight against Team UG Mania. Meanwhile, all the other three teams outside the zone are fighting with each other. So yes, no teams are fighting, no teams are just holding their positions, and meanwhile, Mafia, they have spotted Team UG Mania as they are about to enter the next circle.
I believe that I voted for Total Gaming, right, when it comes to this game?
I don't, yeah.
Yeah,
Continue with that.
I think it was Total Gaming I vouched for. It looks like everything can be going right for them. Team D Esports trying to rush in. They're not bothered about the Grenadier in front of them. 4 unknown Bims still cooking grenades at this point of time. Team D Esports have that Max 7. Will be able to execute one. But M10 seems to be a bit more stronger at this point of time. Amitwala with that M18 puts up blue wall. Wants to come in from a different angle and take down. Black Tiger will be executing 1 kill against him. Roshan will be the last man standing. Let's see whether he'll be able to execute 1. I think he was able to do so. Now he has to make himself inside the circle. Java Boy getting taken down. I think Kunal will be using hand cannon and taking down players.
Yeah.
He's confirmed Mafia as well. This could be the beginning of the end for them, as Mafia will be putting down a grenade against Java Boy. Delete will be the last man standing. Total Gaming looks vulnerable yet again. With Delete, the last man standing has a lot of job to do.
You know, UG Mania, if they are surviving, Prince Singh and the other guy that we always talk about, Golden, these are the 2 players always having the kills for the team. And as soon as I talk about that, Prince Singh once again gets a knock on one of the enemy teams as the next zone is about to close in a timer of 5 seconds. Golden with his MA2B is ready to have a knock on Team CES, but the glue wall came around by his teammate already. But UG Golden, Even if there's a glue wall, he will land that headshot perfectly on the enemy team.
Oh,
and Yuji
nice.
Golden, with that headshot, will confirm Total Gaming are the match at the third position.
Yeah, but at the same time, we are able to see UG versus CES. It's
CES.
going to be a 3v4 as of now.
Yeah.
Or no, it's going to be a 4v4 fight. Let's see which sniper is the strongest. Prince gets taken down. A good start coming in from the side of Chemin Esports. Grenades are being popped from them as well. Look at the way the grenades are actually flying in, restricting them to make it inside the circle. At the same time, Adam on the other side with that machine gun will be doing most of the damage for sure. Chemin Esports have the higher advantage of the zone as well. All they have to do is go to the center of the circle before they make it outside as well. A good grenade coming in from the other side. Golden has to make sure he goes inside cover. Everything seems to be favoring Chemin Esports as Jabba Boy gets
Height
taken
advantage.
down. Most of the zone, most of the kills being executed by them. Ashushta gets taken down. Golden will be the last man. Will be tagged on his butt and will be saying goodbye at the nth moment. A good booyah coming in from the side of Chemin Esports. Consistency is being the key for Chemin Esports so far.
Well, definitely consistency landing around for them, and now they won a Boya on the Kalahari map. If I'm right, this is their second Boya for their day.
Yeah, I do believe, yes, this could be the second booyah for them. And I believe it was, I think so. I think so. You might be right getting the second booyah for them as well. But at the same time, I'm looking forward to see the overall points table. Few team consistently getting placement points. Few team relying on kill points yet again.
Exactly.
But there are teams like PVS who want both kill points and placement points as well as Chemin Esports. Let's not forget Team D Esports performance so far, getting ruthless throughout the day.
Exactly.
Team Chaos being so chaotic. It looks like most of the teams have actually performed well.
Yeah.
So overall points table is going to reveal more about most of these teams. We are waiting to see what's going to happen at the end of the day. At the same time, for those who have come in and enjoyed the day, do not forget to hit the like button. You know, it's going to be a pat on our shoulder for sure that we are doing an amazing job. At the same time, share it among your friends so that they can come in on the final 2 days of the wildcard. Let me tell it to you guys, 12 teams among which only 6 will be making into the finale. And this is as good as a finale for them, because in case they don't perform here, then it's going to be a goodbye for them.
Well, as we know, only 6 teams out of these 12 teams will qualify for the grand finals, as we already have the 6 teams ready and waiting for these 6 teams to come around them on the 23rd of October. But we also need to discuss one thing before that. Now the day is over, the day 1 is over, and 2 days are left. 6 matches done. These teams, they have studied each and every strategy of each and every team that they're playing with.
Eventually they would have studied now, but they have a lot of homework to do at home.
Right.
You know, they're going to go back, look up to the mistakes which they have done. They're going to rectify it. They're going to counter strategize against teams which are rushing in. They're going to counter strategize against defensive team as well. Now the drop locations were being challenged only for few teams, where the others had an opportunity of getting good farming and then taking the fight inside the circle, was still not able to execute kills in their name. That was the wrong thing for most of the teams who had an opportunity of doing getting some good kills in the name. So let's see, all of this will be set and done, and day 2 will turn out to be something different. So do not forget to hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icon so that you will be there to see some new strategies and counter strategies coming in from most of the teams.
Well, talking about the strategies, you have to have a game with you for that, and you have that Poco X3 Pro where you can play the Free Fire game and enjoy some amazing strategy, some amazing play because of the 120Hz display, the 5000 mAh battery it provides, and with long hours of gaming and fast charging. As soon as you charge for 40 minutes, it is well and ready and set for 3 to 4 hours of long gaming.
33 watt. We'll show you what 33 watt can actually do. If possible, tomorrow we're going to charge this phone live for you and show you how fast this phone can actually charge. At the same time, Snapdragon 888, what a processor it is. It's going to boost your audio. It's going to boost your camera. It's going to make your phone a gaming beast. Basically, you're going to have a PC as a smaller version in your hand, and we all know what it can actually do. We have experienced it. Comes with 2 different color variant. It's a budgeted gaming phone, and that's the most important thing about it. It's like you go to your parents and you request them for a phone which is a gaming phone. They're gonna be like, we don't have the budget for it. You can push them up to 20 or probably 18.99. You can have a gaming phone in your hand, and that is what it can do. And more about the phone already coming on our screens, as you can see below us, behind us, I'm so sorry. And it's the Poco X3 Pro. Look at the speed it's gonna hold. It's got the Pro cooling in it, and that's the most important thing. You know, when you're playing any game on your gaming phone, it's gonna heat up very fast, but it's not going to happen over here with 120Hz display. You're going to be as fast as a lion.
Well, with 5G and icy liquid cooling, you just saw the ice, right? So yes, it's gotta stay cool, just like ice stays cool. And with a 2-day battery backup, so yes, if you charge your phone to 100%, it can survive for 2 long days.
Yes.
And yes, 18,999 available on Flipkart uniquely and also in your closed stores.
Yeah, but at the same time, do not forget to share this video among your friends so that they can also get the info about the mobile as well as some entertainment of Free Fire game itself. I'm wanting to see who was the MVP. I'm wanting to see the points table of the previous game because we saw a lot of exchange of kills as well. For now, this is the kind of damage and kills being dealt. An average of 4 kills in every team. We can see Total Gaming, Team D Esports, Raven Esports, Evil Army, Chemin Esports, AFF Esports, UG Mania, TSM FTX. Everybody have got an average of 4. So this is the kind of game I would want to see. But the highest damage being dealt by UG Mania and Chemin Esports, 2 new teams coming in to show that they're capable of having some good firepower. At the same time, TSM finally with 2,400 damage were able to deal with 5 kills. Finally.
Yeah, finally we can say that. But as we just discussed, as the game got ended, it was a good game for each and every team. Having 4 to 5 kills, they will get around 8 to 10 points for themselves, and that is what you need each and every game. Right?
Exactly. So at the same time, consistency of placement points, which actually matters. If you have an average of 4 or 5 kills, you have to play for placement points.
Right.
And we were able to see that it was Chemin Esports who was able to do so. For now, we are going to be looking at the nominees of the Superstar People Choice Award. It's time for you to vote out for your favorite player amongst the 3 matches which took place just now. We have PVS Yogi with the grenades was able to execute some amazing kills. Then we have CS Kaushik who was able to perform well. And let's not forget the contribution of Delete in one game where he was able to execute 2 to 3 kills for his team and a valuable good ones. So please go in and vote out for your favorite player or amongst the player who actually performed well in the bottom 3. And we'll be announcing the winner soon. And this is, it's good to see that the audience are involved and the true essence of the game can actually come in front of us.
Definitely, PVS Yogi and Kaushik are the grenade launchers for the team. They are the grenade players or the grenade launchers for the team as they get the opening for the team, and then the whole team is rushing in and getting the kills. But not to forget, after PVS Yogi, we have a name as Loverboy. Loverboy always having the first initial picks with the grenades. As soon as he gets a knock with the help of Car 98, he never picks up that MA2B. You might have witnessed that each and every game he goes with the Car 98 and gets a headshot.
Yeah, eventually, it's important for you to learn your inventory when it comes to this game. You have the right kind of guns. That is when you'll be able to perform well. Probably if you give him an MA2B, probably won't be able to perform that well because it's going to be hard for you to, control the crosshair of M82B. And at the same time, M82B is all about, predicting the player behind the glue wall. If you're really good at prediction, that is the gun to go for because he's going to penetrate through any glue wall given at any given day. At the same time, a good day of Free Fire, I would like to say, tell me which is that one team which stood out for you throughout the day.
PVS Gaming anyhow.
Oh my God. Gaming. I mean, PVS Gaming, yes, they did perform with the gun. They did perform with the grenade launcher. They did perform with landmines. They did perform in both the maps, to be specific. So PVS Gaming for you. For me, it's going to be Team D Esports. Because they did perform amazingly well as Team Chaos. Even though they got taken down, they were smart enough to take down players with the landmines as well. For now, we'll be looking at the Pro Squad of the day. Let me remind you guys, Pro Squad of the day is 4 different players, probably from the same team or different teams, who have done justice to their role given to them. Right now, we're going to be looking at DG Ignite doing good supporting as well as a good initial surviving for the team. So he'll be coming in as the first Pro Squad of the day, and the second one will be coming on our screens anytime soon.
Well, Desi Gamers Ignite was a player number 1, and before that, Ignite, talking about Ignite, we need to discuss that how was he surviving throughout the day, throughout the games that Desi Gamers was playing and getting the positioning points for the team. Well, now we need to look at the player number 2, and this player has to be in the Pro Squad for the day. PVS Gaming, PVS Yogi, always having the kills for the
Assaulter team. Coming in, doing the right kind of job for the team with the grenade launchers, with the snipers, with any given gun. it was all connecting for him today.
Yeah.
So eventually he'll be awarded as the player 2 in the pro squad of the day. Now the third person is going to be the most important one, as we are going to have an IGL probably coming in on the third one.
Yeah.
So let's see who's going to be player number 3. If you know the name, put it down in the chat before it come on our screens, as it's going to be coming up. It's going to be Chemin Esports, Kaushik, performing really well. Yes, I do believe that Kaushik did push his team forward, played really well at point, where his grenades connected really well. At the same time, the backup came in really good for him as well.
Yeah, definitely. Now we had a look on Chemin Esports Caustic. So we have 2 Grenadiers, or might be we also have one of the IGLs of the team. So yes, these 2 players have performed definitely amazing for the teams. But we looked over to the player number 1, that was Ignite. That was the best supporter you could look out for in your pro squad for the day. And now the player number 4 for the day is going to come. Well, keep on spamming those names for the player number 4 you look out for. And there we go. Raven Esports, Sai Shankar. One more supporter according to you?
Yeah, I believe he was the... I think he was a supporter, because Kaushik was the person who was kind of doing the sniping for the day. So Sai Shankar doing a good job for the team, getting some valuable points, and that is why he's over here. I want to see all 4 pro squad of the day, because this is the first time we are able to see some new names popping up when it comes to the pro squad of the day. Player number 1 Ignite, player 2 Yogi, player 3 Kaushik, player 4 Sai Shankar. If these 4 players in a team today, they would have got the maximum number of kills. They could have carried their team to more than 2 to 3 booyahs.
Well, definitely the highest number of damage too, because PVS Gaming and Team Chemin Esports were able to do that. So yes, this was the pro squad of the day, but we do have some more sessions coming up. Do not leave, guys. Make sure you like the stream and also subscribe to the Snapdragon Conquest channel. Meanwhile, you can also follow all our social media handles, that is Instagram, Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, at the same time, you want some updates about the wildcards. You want to see the overall points table yet again, to see what are the chances of your team coming in. Do not forget to go and subscribe to Snapdragon Conquest in any of the socials, as my friend already told. At the same time, it's important for you to go to Snapdragon Insider on Google.
Yeah.
Remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Go to Google, search for Snapdragon Insider. You'll be getting a link. Follow that link and register yourself. What are the advantages of this? You're going to be the first person to understand which is the new mobile coming up, which are the new processor with Snapdragon is coming up.
Yeah.
How is it going to be useful for you? Imagine you're going to buy a new phone.
Yeah.
You can restrict yourself from buying a phone which is already in market, because you'll know when the new mobile is coming, how much to save up for that mobile, whether it's a gaming one or not, whether it's a photography one. You can put down your suggestion, make videos. You're going to be credited with goodies, or you're going to be credited in many other ways. So do not forget to subscribe yourself into Snapdragon Insider. At the same time, right now we'll be looking at the overall points table, where we're going to be getting to know which are the teams which will be making it into the top 6 or having a higher advantage at the end of the day to make it into the finale.
#1 or #2, but these teams have done their performance for the day 1, and there we go, the overall standings after the end of day 1 of the wildcards. We have Chemin Esports with 2 booyahs and 137 overall points.
Yeah, and a very good one because of placement points coming in from their side. 81 placement points, all thanks to the 2 booyahs which they got. But at the same time, there is some consistency of the kill points from everybody.
Yeah.
But PVS Gaming having 60 kill points in the name on the 3rd position with just 1 booyah gets 118 points. Desi Gamers proved to us it's just about consistency and placement points, not necessity to get booyahs.
Right.
125 points on the 3rd position. UG Mania coming in at the 4th with 50, 67, 117 points overall. Raven Esports coming behind them, again showing consistency in both kills and placement points, 100. AFF Esports were able to perform in the beginning, was not able to execute kills, will be paced on the 6th point with 98. Team D Esports, a good balance to be specific. Kill points 48, placement points 49. All they have to do is outperform themselves from tomorrow, 97 points. It's not a huge difference, it's just 37 points difference from them. Then it's going to be TSM FTX. Even though they had good placement points, they couldn't execute kills. We all know they were the people who were dealing with damage but not converting them to kills with 92 points. Nemesis Gaming with 87. From then comes all the trembling down. It's going to be Evil Army, Team Chaos and Total Gaming not able to perform. 68 points.
Yeah.
Almost half of what the top teams have. Now they have to do something different. This is the MVP of the day.
Well, we have the top 5 players of the day 1 of the wildcards. PVS Yogi with 14 kills and total damage of 8,081, 0 headshots and 2 assists. CES Kaushik with 12 kills and a total damage of 5,966 with 2 headshots and 7 assists. Just behind him is going to be CES Adam with 11 kills, 3,523 damage, 2 headshots and 3 assists. Behind him is going to be Ignite with 10 kills, 4,383 damage, 2 headshots and 8 assists. That means 2 players from Chemin Esports, they haven't lagged on the kill department.
Yeah, and eventually they have done an amazing job for the team.
Yeah.
2 of them giving more than 23, giving up to 23 kills. Let's not forget D. Amitwala coming in with 10 kills, 3,769 damage, 5 headshots, 5 assists. So that comes up to say when you have 12 and 11, that's going to come up to 23 kill points.
Right.
23 into 2 is going to give you 46 kill points there alone, and that is how your team was able to survive on the top 5. At the same time, Chemin Esports 136 on the top of the table, would want to maintain the consistency. Sad to see that Total Gaming are on the bottom with Evil Army. There was a time where Evil Army was actually taunting 4 unknown throughout the league stages, taking them down. Beam, if you restrict Beam, Evil Army is going to come down trembling, and that has been proved on the day 1 of Wildcard itself. There's more to be proved by the teams. Counter strategies are going to come up yet again, as we have already spoken before in the following 2 days. Do not forget to subscribe as well as share it among your friends. But yes, sometimes our casted prediction have come out correct, sometimes it has not. But it's good to see that we have been proven wrong by most of these teams. What do you have to say on the end note of the day, Mrudul?
Well, definitely this was an amazing day, and now we're going to see the People's Choice Superstar of the day, Total Gaming Delete, with 66% damage. Yogi, 66% damage by the audience.
Yeah, all the audience are made sure that they're given the damage in the voting for Total Gaming, getting him on the top. At the same time, PVS Gaming is going to follow him up at 28%. Kaushik was not able to deal that much of a damage with the love, so he'll be getting taken down. Yeah, I would like to say it's the damage of love given by the audience. 66% for Total Gaming, but at the same time, an amazing job done by them, because we have seen them performing really well in few games. It's just that they're not able to come up with the synergy which is actually required for them, and I just hope that they'll be able to do so in the next 2 days. Yes, Ansh had come in before because of Mafia Bala. Let's see whether they'll be able to bring him back and do something different tomorrow.
Definitely Total Gaming performed their level best gameplay, and now we'll be looking at a face-off which is actually required for the day, where we'll understand which 2 teams actually had an opportunity of facing off and doing an amazing job. It was Chemin Esports and Desi Gamers. Both of them had performed really well. Kaushik and Adam were the 2 people from Chemin Esports who actually took most of the kills in their name. Like, they were doing most of the damage against all the teams. On the other side, we have Ignite with 10 kills. Harsh and Insane were doing the same kind of... Look at that, Harsh, Insane and Shanti. All 3 of them were doing some good job for the team. Consistency is the key for DG, and that is how they are there over there. We spoke about it, right? They proved to us without Booyah you can be there in the top 3, and for now Aim God will be the person who couldn't do anything much, but yeah, he was a man with the info. He went in the front, he made sure that he gave the right kind of info for the team, due to which Kaushik and Adam were able to do some killing and get those kill points. Well, these were the top 2 teams for the overall standings after the day 1 ended, and Desi Gamers or Chemin Esports, they performed pretty well. Even if Desi Gamers, they haven't had a booyah today, but they got amazing kill points, they got amazing positioning points, and they performed consistently throughout the day. We talked about PVS Gaming or even Chemin Esports. You have to go with the consistency for your team.
Yeah, at the same time, I believe that this is going to be the point where we're going to say we're going to bid goodbye to you guys. Do not forget to follow us on Insta. This is going to be Caster.Arka. You're going to find him at _Mrudul Kapoor. We're going to be saying goodbye to you from the English desk. We're going to be finding you again tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye, take care, and adios.